today I got up and I was productive, and here I am. I'm even ready for stream. Look at all the things that I did to get ready for this stream. Look at this overlay. Yeah, there's game tokens on it. I can move them, I think. I can move them or make them bigger. Wait for it, wait for it. Need to get back in that spot. Go back over there. Okay, I'm not great at this, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Turn that down a little. I think I already set. Over. Get over. Good enough. Good enough. I also got resources scanned for everybody. I did this on Friday. The resources are... There's a thing. Watch this. Watch this. It didn't work. How did it not work? You're killing me here, resources. Resource? Oh, that's why. I don't remember my own fucking command. Source? Oh, there you go. And there's no link. Why is there no link? Well, get in the Discord, folks. I guess that's it. Why is there no link? Can anybody else see the link? Man, it's in the Discord. It has its own thing. Apparently not. Apparently this is how we're rolling. We're also going to take notes. Right there. Handy dandy notes. And it's going to be amazing. We're going to listen to detective music. Yeah, all the things. Do you know how long this stupid ass overlay? I don't understand why there's no link. I'm going to just post the link. Let's just post it. I don't understand why it's not working. It's dumb, but it's in Discord. Copy. There you go. Link. That'll take you to the drive where you will find the rulebook, if you so choose to look at it. It's like 8 pages long. It's not a big deal. The newspaper articles, there's a top and a bottom scan of them because my scanner is not big enough for these giant things. Phil Smith, hello. Yep, in Discord, so I can see it perfect. So I scanned the top and bottom for the newspaper, which is the top's right here. I don't know if it's legible or not from the OBS screen or not, so, go with however you're feeling. If you're like, I'll pay attention a little bit, like, I'm going to read this article over here, but I don't give a fuck about the saucer-shaped flying machine built. I don't give a fuck about that, so I'm not going to bother looking at the bottom or opening up any JPEGs. That's fine. You can do that. Like, you can just listen along, because we are solving a crime today. Film Smith, did you know you were coming into crime solving? I didn't put anything on Twitter. Shit. You didn't know because you didn't even get to see it on Twitter because I didn't post it. Oh well. Our crime today is set in Arkham, Massachusetts on August 8th, 1929. August 8th. Huh, look at that. It's called Flesh and Blood, and it's the Investigation 2. What happened in Investigation 1? Investigation 1 was set on June 30th, so just a couple weeks, a week prior, one whole week. It's called The Grain of Evil, and we got called to the city of Arkham, Massachusetts to investigate a murder, or an attempted murder. A murder, you see. I need the Sherlock hat, just a floppy cap. Just something, and a pipe. I have neither one of those things to complete the Sherlock look. I've got the music. I stole the music, but that's about it. So this woman, who I later learned was named Madeline. I want to say her name was Madeline. Martha. Her name was Martha. she got stabbed in the street outside of the park. And you know, the funniest thing was that she was stabbed, but her shirt wasn't ripped. So they were like, how did this even happen? And hey, there's a creepy figure watching from the park over there. Like, we need to figure out what this guy is. So my job, as the investigator, was to find out what foul play may have been, you know, at hand here. Who this man was. So we went through a couple places. I met a man who is... His name is... I don't know. Sebastian Lyman. I think he might be in our allies list. He works for a cult, but he's also kind of, what is it, a rat? He's a mole. He's a mole for me. He tells me shit that I need to hear. So I asked him about this cult and these people and some kind of shady shit they may have been up doing. Here's the park down here. Across the street, there was this shady shit going down in this house. So I went in the house and we found writing on the wall. And it was all like, sugar, sugar, lots of words from Lovecraft that I can't pronounce. And we learned, luckily, the friend I was playing with is a Lovecraft fan, and he was like, oh, so that guy, I'm gonna have to look up what he is. You steal pieces of people or whatever, like, I don't know, somehow you make them breed these creatures. It was gross. I can't remember exactly, but it was gross. And we tracked down the order. We tracked down the man in the back who was watching from afar. Actually, we didn't actually get to track him down. I went to his house and I broke in and I went to the basement and I found out that he stole something from the museum and it had something to do with the tail, and he had a dagger. It was a sacrificial dagger and some kind of creepy bowl for gathering blood, and there were curses and bad cats in dusty ass houses. So then I go up to the museum and we're like, what's going on with this museum? I learned through the newspaper that somebody from out of town, this man from out of town, Victor Ingram, I think his name was, is coming into town for some special museum exhibit. And this exhibit is, I don't really know, because I can't find it because I'm looking at the wrong page. Where are you, Victor Ingram? He's a senior curator from the Boston Museum. He's scheduled to visit the Miskatonic exhibit while in town to judge the exhibit competition. So he's just like passing through judging competitions. That's what they say, right? Nah. I find out that this man is, wait for it, an out-of-town cultist? He was a cultist. And he was coming to bring this Shub-Niggurath to being, and their plans got soiled. And that's pretty much, where was the solution? Did I get everything? I pretty much got it all. So at the end of all of this, we're going to tally our notes. We're going to count the locations that we visit, and there will be a solution at the end that allots points and tells us how well we did. We can pass with, we can win, technically, without having to get all of the information. We can make guesses at the questions that we don't know exactly because, like, we might know. That's how I figured out Victor Ingram. We get penalties for the amount of places that we do visit. So we're going to start at day 1, which is this red token right here. We're going to start here, and every time we go somewhere, if we decide we're going to go to the library, then we take this marker and we move it down to the afternoon. And then we look in our book and we decide, okay, where's the library? We got to find the library. So we find the library. Okay, it's at D whatever. I don't remember where the library is exactly, but I think it's on the college. And we look in the book and we find out, does it have a listing in the back of this where we can have an encounter? The encounter is the second part of our action. So first we travel, then we encounter. And if it's there, great, we have a clue. If it's not, we still have to take the travel penalty. It doesn't count against us, I don't think, in the end, but we still have to take it for time's sake. So we just have to be kind of careful at the places that we go, like how often we go places, because that's where Kevin and I got stuck. I made a bad call. The woman that was attacked woke up in the middle of the night in the hospital, and she started screaming out about her lover and how they were supposed to meet at the Bell. So I'm like, okay, let's go to this Bell. We ended up finding it randomly while we were looking for something else. He was like, oh, the Miskatonic something Bell? And I was like, wait, where? And we went, and there was no freaking encounter, so we had to take the penalty, and I was real mad because I was sure something was going to happen at the Bell, and it didn't. Question, is this cooperative or you play against each other? We are playing against time, my friend. We are playing with each other. That's why I gave you all the access to the resources. But we are playing against time, and time is a bastard. She is a beautiful bastard of uncontrollables. So that's where we're at. I'm going to start off by reading you the introduction, basically. And this is the only amount of time the only amount of information that we have for it. So you guys didn't really miss anything from the first one. She's a bastard, right? You may not know, like Armitage. He's the guy, the college professor that hires us because he thinks something's just spooky. I got a brief introduction to him in the first scenario, but if you look in the allies list, there's listings for that stuff, and I'll tell you if you miss something. But for the most part, they're like a one-shot. We're chilling and we're solving mysteries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by reading the summary, and then I'm going to write down the first location that we go and the information that we get there, and you guys help us figure out, where do we go? I can't really ask them specific questions, but the question is, where do we go? And we have to do it as fast as possible. We have to get from problem to solution in, at max, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 days at max. That's longer than we had for the first one, so I'm sure this one's going to be a doozy. I have water and Coke. Water because I'm sure the reading is going to be crazy, and Coke because I like it. Because I like it. You guys have any other questions? I'm going to show you the setup, the picture. Oh, there we go. Big house. Big house. Flesh and blood. And, if you guys need the link at any point later, or if anybody comes in and needs the link, copy and paste it for me, I guess. I'm going to keep it on mine too, just in case. That way I have it accessible, and we'll figure out why the bot's not working later. Alright. Let's do this. On a wet August morning, you step into the office of Professor Henry Armitage. Again, this bastard. Once more. In Miskatonic University's renowned Orrin Library. You're surprised to find no one waiting for you. It was only this morning that you received his call, and you've never known him to be late or miss an appointment. You spend a few minutes watering Armitage's violets. We're such good friends. We're like, oh, well, this dude's late to our meeting. We're just going to water his violets for him. I don't know why I changed the page. Forgive my late arrival, Armitage's voice rings out from the hallway. Please don't think I take your assistance for granted. It's been an eventful morning. Then I realized it being blind and realized they were there all along. First I didn't see other things. Oh, inside the link. You've got this. You found him. His arrival doesn't assuage, I don't know this word very well, your anxiety, late and apologetic? Something is amiss. Something is amiss. He hands you today's copy of the Arkham Advisor. You catch the headline. Night Watchman found dead at Miskatonic. Night Watchman. Got him. The old man wipes the dirt and leaves from his shoes. 3 years ago, there was an attempt to steal a very dangerous book from the restricted section of the library. The theft was prevented, but it was clear that more security was required. You think whoever killed this watchman stole this book, you ask? Before we get to that, there are several details about the murder the paper leaves out. Unpleasant details. Armitage closes the office door. The corpse was left in a rather grisly state. The attacker removed the victim's skin and his blood. Your anxiety grows into icy dread. That's insane. It made perfect sense to someone that last night. Armitage shakes his head. This morning I informed a mother and father that someone had left their son a mutilated corpse, and he has not worked here long. You know, I've witnessed so many unspeakably horrific things, but that... Armitage struggles for words. You reach over and place a comforting hand on Armitage's shoulder. He takes a moment to compose himself. There's something else you need to see. Make sure your shoes are clean and follow me. So he walked in and cleaned his shoes, and then he's like, make sure your shoes are... This guy is super weird about his clean floors. You wipe the mud from your shoes and accompany the old man down the hall to the restricted, that word is fucking hard today, restricted section of the library. As you do, you see a distinct trail of dried earth running along the floor. Was this from our killer? Oh, there's a rather flayed man like, yup, that's what that is, flaying. Indeed, Armitage. Oh, that's why he's so weird about the dirt. He doesn't want you leaving any extra dirt. Indeed, Armitage stops at the door bearing the sign that reads, Restricted, no entry, all in caps. The trail of mud goes no further. When I arrived this morning, the watchman's keys were in the lock and this door was open. The watchman's keys, however, will only open the outer door to the restricted area. Okay. This door was open. So there's another door that it shouldn't have been able to open. Okay. Armitage unlocks the outer door and switches on the lights to illuminate the overstuffed shelves in the windowless room. A second door within the restricted section provides further protection from the Necronomicon. For the Necronomicon. As you can see, I hate the Boltons, doesn't everybody? Armitage glances in its direction. And oddly, the Necronomicon is in a foul mood today. One would think it would be excited. The trail of mud does not cross the threshold of the room. The book? I'm going to assume that the book is going to be excited? Yes, one would think, you mutter. I like how he says that. I just picture it. You would think. You're not sure if Armitage is serious when he speaks of the Necronomicon's moods, but you have grown accustomed to this odd manner of expression. You glance quizzically around the room. He unlocked the door, but didn't come inside? It's very telling, Armitage points out, to the inside of the door jamb, where there are a series of occult protection symbols etched into the wood. As I said, more security was required. The fact that the intruder couldn't pass this door with those protection symbols suggests that it was something other than human. Dun dun dun! Dun dun dun! Whatever it is, I believe it will grow more desperate as a result of this failure. Armitage closes the door and locks it. As the two of you walk to the library exit, he says, We must find out what this creature is, what its motivations and intentions are, and most importantly, how to stop it. Inspector Garrison and his men have collected all the evidence from the crime scene and turned it over to Dr. Corbett, who is our... Dr. Corbett is our lab friend. Dr. Corbett did some work for me in the first one. He is... Where are you, Corbett? Herbert Corbett, our local criminologist. As long as he has evidence to examine, his forensic expertise is unmatched. He may have uncovered something, and as much as I hate to admit it, there is someone else who might have some knowledge on this creature. I won't mention the scoundrel's name, the occult expert. You have proven... Ooh, I remember him too. You have proven yourself to be quite resourceful. You will figure it out, but be careful. We shall work independently. Time is not on our side. Told you guys, time is not on our side. Armitage holds the front door open for you, letting a hard wind into the library. And then that's it. That's our scenario. Rexy! Have you muted 'cause work, but what are you playing? Yeah, dragon. That's correct. Mythos Tale, investigation game. We have a book. We have scenarios. We have a map. We have newspapers. We have links in a drive for anybody who wants to play along. So what do we know first? We know that Corbett is working on some shit. I'm gonna just type this. Corbett, criminologist. We gotta check in with him. We know the occult guy is Pascal Fenton. For all things on the occult, when you can't find good information at the library, Pascal Fenton is the Arkham's resident occultist and spiritualist. Pascal meddles in the forces he would be better off to avoid. His knowledge of the so-called great old ones, is extensive, and on occasion you may be forced to team up with him, much to the chagrin of Armitage. So our friend Fenton is the occult expert. Corbett is at... Where's Corbett? You are at D45. That's their place on the map. And Pascal is at L4. Sorry about the mute, but it's loud at work. That's fine. That's cool. Is it multiplayer? Yes. So, 1 to 8 players. 1 to 8 players. But basically, all set in the book. So, we're going through it on chat, with chat. There you go. That's our map, and that's where we're going. So, Corbett is down here at, where are we? Oh, D45. Somewhere up here, D45. Pascal's way somewhere else. L24 down there. What else do we know? We could go talk to either one of them first, or we can. Well, let's read the newspaper first from August 8th. The night watchman found dead at Miskatonic. A night watchman was discovered. Oh, typos. Real typos. A night watchman was discovered dead last night in a grisly state at Orne Library. The murder has some citizens of Arkham in an uproar over the contents locked away in the restricted rooms inside the Orne Library. One such book, the Necronomicon, is believed by many to be cursed. Even the mayor is expressing concerns about the contents of Orne Library. My heart goes out to the family and friends of the victim. We don't know what prompted this attack, but I'm concerned the contents of the library may get target for malicious deeds. The mayor was quoted as saying, when reached out to for comment, Detective Garrison stated, "It could be a feud the guard had with someone else. We are looking into every possible lead." So they're obviously they don't believe that there's weird shit going down. I'm gonna say that our first stop is to wanna go to the occultist or to the criminologist? The criminologist will tell us more about the whole scene. The occultist will tell us more. I feel like the criminologist might be first, because then we can get like the facts, and then we can see if it lines up with the occult stuff, with whatever occult being that we're talking about this time. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's our first location. So I'm just gonna put a star there for the location that we're going, and we're going to D45. And I don't think that we have to move. Let me look. I'm gonna make sure. I don't know when I have to move. If it's on German, we'll conclude. Did my music end? Oh, my music ended. Should we do the show now? The Sherlock show. Let's do. Yeah, let's do the Sherlock show because it's somewhere in here. Dun, 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 dun. Because we're solving mysteries. Solving mysteries. Okay. However, it should be noted the majority. Just want to make sure that I can't remember if the first one. Yeah, I think I have to. After selecting which location players will travel, advance the time tracker. So yeah, after you decide where you're going. Oh wait, no. If this is the player's first turn of the game, the gray progress marker is not yet on the time tracker. In this case, instead of place the progress. Okay, no. So we don't need to move it. Yeah, it's preset. There's 8 scenarios in the book. 8 of them. And we're trying 2. The second one. Okay, D45. Let's see if there's an encounter. There is an encounter. So, D45. Dr. Corbett is hunched over several photographs with his back to the door, and yet he uncannily knows that it's you entering the lab. What's fascinating about this case is the evidence we don't have. And I don't just mean the corpse's skin and blood. Corbett turns around to look at you. If I were going to steal someone's skin, I'd bring a car if I had one. What? Wouldn't you? I mean, where did it all go? That's the real mystery here. Skin is heavy and messy. We had rain and we had mud. It's the perfect setup to see tire tracks, but there's nothing. He points to a series of photographs on the outside of the library. You shrug. So he walked? He flew? I don't know, but I know he didn't drive. Now, I'm not one to tell you how to do your job, but it occurs to me it's likely that your killer doesn't have a car. And if that's true, I bet he's been in a taxi the last few days. Unless he flew. You add. So, is there a taxi place? We're going to check the directory. Let's check if there's, like, a taxi station. Have you heard of a game called Dread? I've seen playtests of Dread. I've watched, I think I watched a Geek and Sundry thing about Dread. Yeah, I don't remember much about it. I feel like I watched something, yeah, with blocks. I only kind of remember it. Looking for a taxi, looking for the taxi. Because I feel like that's where I'm being led. Looking for the taxi. While we're talking about a game called Dread. That worked. That worked. Let's see. Law firms, graveyards. I don't know. What are transportation? Arkham Bus Line, Arkham Cab Company, Arkham Trolleys, B&M Train Station, Innsmouth Bus. Okay, there's a lot of decisions there. So I think maybe we should go to our occult expert first and then decide maybe if we can figure out, because I would think Arkham Cab Company is what he's like alluding to, but I don't see why it couldn't be either one of the buses either. So we're gonna write criminologist, and what did he have to say? He had things to say like, where did the skin go? Can I write that? Should I where did it all go? I feel like that's a lot less dark if I don't write where did the skin go on the notes. So he's saying killer doesn't have a car. Maybe taxi. And then I'll leave. I think that's pretty much all he had to say. He was almost useful. He was not that, I don't know. Maybe he was useful. Maybe there's a ton of evidence in one of the taxis. Ugh, can you imagine the evidence in the taxis? Setting up a Dread game, you're more than welcome to join if you want to. Have a file for scheduling and character dev. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Thank you. I'll have to check that out for sure. Yerp, hello, Chaos. How are you? What's up? So, let's look to, like, just because I'm going to check out anything... Oh, wrong side. Okay. Wrong side. We need to look at Home Wanted, Men Wanted. Local matron is honored by Baptist Society. Businessman slumbered in French Hill. So I don't think there's anything about any of our transit lines or anything crazy. Is that a map of Boston/Cambridge on your wall? This is a map of Arkham, Massachusetts, which apparently is set in Danvers. I looked it up. Where, like, the reference to it would be Danvers. Looked it up the other day. This is a Lovecraft themed board game, detective game. It's from a book. Are those RPG games? Yeah, I'm like role-playing a detective right now. We're solving mysteries. It's Lovecraft themed. I don't know what creature yet we're dealing with. The last one was a Shub-Niggurath or something like that. And what was the other word? Oh no. Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep. That's why I'm good at these games, because I can pronounce everything in the Lovecraft mythos. That's why. Anyways, how are you? Let's go see Fenton at L4. Occultists. L4. So now we move our time tracker. We have to move it down into the afternoon. Why does it do that? Oh, it's so small now. I don't understand. We're just gonna make it bigger. There we go. We're down here. Okay. The N-word. What N-word? The bad N-word? I didn't say that. Kind of sounds like it in the word. The Mythos words. Okay. L4. Fenton. Pascal Fenton. If anybody wants to go through the newspapers and seeing if you see anything that might sound amiss, feel free. Oh, that's the link in the wrong screen. Nerd. There you go. There you go. Resources. Scenario 2, resources. I got you. Alright, occult expert. Fenton. Fenton's an asshole. I had to deal with him in the last game, and he was like, "Oh, I see you need my help again. Oh, you're too good for me. I thought we weren't friends." Yeah, that N-word. Nyar, it's Nyarlathotep. Nyar is where I'm stopping. Nyarlathotep. Deva, thank you for the host. Yep, that word right there. David knows it and can probably say it way better than I can. I cannot say these words. Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep. Is that a link to the map? Nope. Newspapers. Papers. Rules. Overarching questions. But the map was too big. Hi, Deva. Pronounce it like an Egyptian pharaoh. Nyarlathotep. Something like that. Deva, you're just in time. We're going to talk to an occultist. And I'm sure you're going to have to translate half of what he says, because he is a dick. Oh, he's quite a bit to say. You haven't missed much. So far, we have been briefed on a murder. The murder happened at the college, right? We should write a thing. Up here. Briefed on murder. That happened. Let's make sure we know where it went. Okay, we met him there. It was at the college, yeah. Oh, the Orrin Library. Brief done murder at Orne Library. Victim flayed and drained of blood. Necronomicon in restricted section of library protected by occult symbols, I think. I think so. Occult symbols etched into the wall. Dirt, footprints leading down hallway, but stop at symbols. You guys can remind me of things too that I might be forgetting. In a cult, I'm being a jerk. Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? I'm kind of jerk and I could be considered an occultist. Deva, you're the perfect one to have on board during this mystery. I need as many occultists as I can find for this one. I think that might be it. Dirt footprints leading down hallway. Stop at symbols. I think that's it. So then we learned that Corbett is working on the scene. And Fenton is the occult expert. I don't know what he's working on. They just told me to go talk to him. So, but you're likable though, Dragon. You're like, you're a likable occultist. Okay, so we ended up going there and going here. Let's find out what Fenton has to say. Fenton? Where are you? L4? For as many times as you've seen the interior of Pascal Fenton's home, it never fails to disturb and surprise you. Each cabinet and shelf overflows with curios from long-forgotten civilizations. Most of these trinkets are obviously counterfeit, but a few seem unnervingly genuine. Pascal points you to an old soft chair that exhales dust as you sit. Did Armitage send you? He has finally admitted that old Fenton might just know a thing or two. I think that's what it's supposed to say. Having two that's right next to each other is strange. Old Fenton might just know a thing or two. Behold! All things are possible. I picture him, I'm trying to picture him old and tiny little glasses and a tweed jacket, possibly a cane, reeks of mothballs, fluffy, a little bit of spazzy spurts of hair, wrinkles, chubby cheeks. Yeah. And just that, does this a lot. I told you so! I told you, sir! Okay. Behold, all things are possible. Pascal laughs sarcastically. I've forgotten about the unseen world. Than that little mouse will ever know. I've forgotten more about the unseen world than that little mouse will ever know. I'm surprised you have waited so long. You have so long avoided becoming my student. Holy shit, he's difficult to read. I've forgotten more about the unseen world than that little mouse will ever know. I'm surprised you have so long avoided becoming my student. Now tell me, how may I help you? Boom. Done. Got it. Given Pascal's fascination with the grotesque, you don't spare any of the details with the Watchman's death. After you finish the story, the old occultist thinks silently. Tricky. He eventually concludes. There's a cult in the Orient that ritually skins their victims. If they are making an incursion into the Western world, well, I dread to consider what that could mean. Some Turkish immigrants get together for chess at the desolate highway cafe. It might be worth asking them about the Brothers of Skin. You finish taking notes and are about to leave when Pascal stops you. However, that doesn't take into account the loss of blood, nor the susceptibility of Armitage's primitive magical warding. Because of the symbols. The Those elements suggest a vampire. A vampire? You stare at Pascal, wondering if he's using you to tease Armitage. A vampire? Like in the movies? Exactly. It drinks blood and it fears religious symbols, as well as the basic protections like garlic and silver. By the way, did you see the vampire film with the telenews? The projectionist there is probably well informed on the subject. Pascal strokes his chin. I can't imagine why a vampire would remove a victim's skin. I suppose that's all I can tell you. Good luck. Good luck. So, we have 2 places we can go. Well, let's, I guess, start with writing down Desolate Highway Cafe and the Brothers of Skin. We'll have to look that up in the directory. What else did he say? Something about a movie theater, right? Is this an RPG as well? I don't think so. It's just a detective game. More like a massive choose your own adventure book. It's less making choices and like choosing my adventure and more following clues. But there is an element that's getting introduced in this game that adds in requirement cards, and requirement cards give you choices along a couple different paths, and you can use them like when you choose, when it tells you to, it's like, oh, use requirement card 1 here, and then you can choose whether you actually want to do that or not, and then the outcomes can be different. So, yeah. What else do we know? We know something about, what was that? Telenews. Did you see the vampire film at the Telenews? So let's write that. Telenews, and then whoever's name that was. The projectionist. Okay, so let's look in our list of allies. Lunchbox, hello! Thank you for that, host, darling. Thank you, Rexy. I know you can't hear me, but thank you. So let's see what. I think there is a Cthulhu Mythos RPG though, probably several of them that springs to mind. I want to get the Sherlock based ones. These books, I want to get the Sherlock ones real bad. Hey, you chose to visit Pascal Fenton, didn't you? Yes, I did. That was this one right here, L4. So where I have these stars, those are going to be my travel markers so that I can count the travel, like the different places later. So at the end of it, I'll just count where the stars are, and that's how we'll know that we traveled there, so we can count up for the penalties in the end. So we can, let's look at this telenews. I want to see if there's, like, what it would be called, I guess. The apartment, unvisited aisle. I really should scan this whole directory, but that's, like, hard. What is this we are doing? We are doing a mystery. So right now we have these clues. We have these clues on the screen for what we know about the mystery. This is the setup for the mystery. I'll put them in, like, blue. They're, like, kind of different. Yeah. So that's our setup, and then these are the places, like, what we've learned through it. This first mystery portion, this was our summary or whatever, our setup, told us these 2 people. So I kind of followed both of those clues just, like, randomly. Thank you for the shout-out, Dava. That one is brilliant. I kind of want to find a group from it someday and roll. Ooh, really? I need to look at whatever that is. Call of Cthulhu 3. I think I saw that. I found a book of, like, RPG adventures at Gen Con that was, like, all ghost stories, and it said it worked with D&D 5e, Pathfinder, and I think Call of Cthulhu was the other one, and it was awesome. Okay, so I'm going to look for, we could do a couple different things here. We could find the Desolate Highway Cafe and ask about the Brothers of Skin that are possibly in a cult that deals in, like, flaying, so they would know more about that. But that doesn't answer our blood question. We could go to a taxi station, the cab company, and find out if there was anything weird about the taxis. One was stolen, maybe. One came back all grody. We could go find the telenews and ask the projectionist about vampires. I feel like that's a little bit far-fetched, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past this game to drop tiny hints like that. But then I just need to figure out where that is. We got a couple options here. Does anybody have any opinions? Or we can look, maybe there's something in our newspaper. Let's look. Doesn't use experience points. Your skills grow by using them. Ooh. Play this for a second edition. I think my brain tried to escape halfway through the reading the book just to escape the torment. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna keep playing D&D. I'm not gonna try anything more right now. Unless I go back to Monster of the Week. Then maybe. So, again, if you guys wanted to look at the newspaper, this is what I'm looking at right now. They're in there somewhere. I'm really just looking for something that might lead me in one of these three directions. Either it's going to lead me to the cab company, the telenews. I don't know if that's a radio station or it's a projectionist, so it's probably a movie theater maybe. Or the Desolate Highway Cafe. So if you guys see anything in the news articles about any of this, let me know. Like here on the bottom, oh my gosh, on the bottom, guys, there are letters to the editor. Letters to the editor. And one says, "Dear Sirs, in these trying times, I feel inspired by the common goodness of people in Arkham. Just the other night, I was given a ride from a gentleman at the Arkham Cab Company and realized that I had neglected to bring my wallet. The driver, Mr. Hoppin, said, 'No problem, Seamus. First one is free. I would like to publicly extend my gratitude.'" Guys, I think I need to go to the cab company. Deva, if you want to teach me how to play Call of Cthulhu, I would totally play Call of Cthulhu with you, just so you know. If you feel like teaching someone new, I will totally play with you. So yeah, let's go to the cab company. Let's figure out where that was. That is in my directory. Lunchbox, I don't know if I really answered you, but we're doing a detective mystery. If you check out the link, the bit.ly link there for the drive, I put up a bunch of the resources there. I didn't put up the whole directory because it's kind of a lot to scan. I might as we go along, but we'll see how much everybody wants to play along or like enjoys this before I get all into that. So where did we find Arkham Cab Company? D34. D34. It's not like I teach people to play RPGs well or anything. Deva, that's what I'm saying, friend. That's what I'm saying. If you want someone new to teach a new game to, I would be down. What did I say? Distracted by Cthulhu. It always happens. D34. D34. Arkham Cab Company. Okay. So let's find out if there's an encounter here. And we need to move our thing down to the evening. The evening of day 1. D34! I'm so happy when there's encounters. I don't even care if there is nothing here. I'm just glad that there's something to read because I have gotten a couple times where there hasn't been a listing and I still have to take the stupid penalty for the time. Drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Arlo shouts to you from across the garage. "What's the rumpus, Seamus?" The rumpus? His cheeriness seems immune to the drab weather and macabre headlines for the day. You cross the distance to meet him. "Your cabbies have any strange fares lately?" I think that was supposed to be me. "Every single day. Actually, my boys have been pretty happy lately. A lot of well-to-do types coming and going." Sebastian Lyman and his crowd, if you know what I mean. That's the Silver Twilight. I'll read you guys about the Silver Twilight in a moment. The Silver Twilight? What are they up to? Told you. I couldn't tell you that, but I know they tip well. Something's got them in a whirl. Hey if you aren't busy, why don't you help out old Arlo shine his tires? Okay, I'm busy, Arlo. I'm so sorry. But he's sending us to Sebastian Lyman, who is one of our informants from the Silver Twilight Lodge. The Silver Twilight, I think the Silver Twilight, they're an occult group. Lyman's Silver Twilight. So we're gonna go down. So should I go to, especially when 1d3 people around him die or go insane automatically every round? What? Wait. It's not like I mean, Cthulhu's pretty distracting with all those flailing tentacles. I know he's distracting. Cthulhu's a great distractor. Everybody's just panicking and dying around him, and he's like, guys, what's happening right now? Where are you? And they're just panicking because they don't know what he's saying. I can picture it now. Cthulhu's really just like he's always in a state of panic because all of his followers are just going insane and dying around him all the time. He's just trying to understand. You guys brought him to life, and then you're just gonna go ahead and die. Goodness. The imagery is there. So Sebastian, I guess. I gotta read about Sebastian again. He's in our allies. Sebastian Lymans. Where are you, darling? Sebastian Lyman is a member of the Order of the Silver Twilight. That's their name, the Order. But he is also a mole. He is a member of this cult, but in name only, and works secretly for Armitage, providing information on the Order and its mysterious leader, Carl Sanford. Sebastian Lyman can be found at... You guys don't understand? Guys, help! Just want somebody to understand me. Lyman. Alright, let's go find Lyman. He's in the R4th. See how fast this can move, though? This is a problem. Oh. Red token. See, we're knocking out all the travel. L18. Lyman. Stepping into Sebastian Lyman's living room, you seem to have interrupted a conversation between Lyman and two sinister-looking men seated across from him. He waves for you to join him by the fireplace. I don't have much time to speak to you, I'm afraid, but I have an answer to your question. He points to the portrait of a dour-faced old man that hangs above the mantel. You are wondering about the identity of this man? You've never given the portrait any thought, and certainly have never asked Sebastian about it, but you play along. I was? He was a Scotsman from the clan McNaught. Of course, Naught has turned to night these days. Lyman smiles inscrutably. Naught has turned to night these days? And Naught and night are both capitalized. I don't know if that means anything, but Naught. Lyman, no more than 11 more investigations if we have any surprises. Lyman's made of soap? I'm afraid I must return to my current business. You should find me later, Lyman winks. We can speak again back at French Hill, and remember to bring that 64 Chateau Lafitte Rothschild you've been promising me. Got it? The 64! You nod, but you're not sure his meaning. Lyman must want to meet you at a more private place. So we have to waste time going to visit him. He said something about... what did he say things about? Probably means something, right? He was a Scotsman from the clan McNaught. And then he said, Naught has... We're going to quote this. Naught has turned to night these days. I don't know what that means, but I feel like he's speaking in code, and it means something. It's got to mean something. And then he says something about We can speak back against at French Hill. 64 Chateau Lafitte. I think this is he trying to lead me? This child. I wonder if he's trying to lead me, so that would make it a Clan McKnight now? Spot on the map with knight on it. I'm wondering if... So is French Hill anywhere? Let's find out. Old Graveyard, West College Street, Hill Street. I don't see anything about knights. Glitch Street, College, Peabody, Powder Mill, French Street. So I'm wondering at... Okay, so Hill Street... I wonder if I can, like, zoom this in at all for you guys. Let's try with this. Nope, too small. That was not what I needed. I'm gonna try. Bam. This is as much as you guys get. This is what you get right now. Okay, so Hill Street is this street that goes up and down right here. Oh no, French Street. This is French Street. And then Hill Street is way over here. Oh, they can't intersect. South French, North French, Powder Mill, High Line. Are there any 64s? I feel like this French, like, would be like the French Quarter or something like that. This F, because U is the uptown. So I feel like F would be like Powder Mill, French Street, Sentinel. I don't know. Is there any 64s there? There's an F64. We're gonna go find him. I don't know yet. We might, but we're gonna try. There's a spot on the map with knight on it. Was it Lafitte? It was Lafitte and what? It's Chateau Lafitte Rothschild. I'm assuming he's making it sound like a wine. But then he ends it with saying, "You've been promising me, got it?" The 64. So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to go to F64. Let me look at, I'm going to look in the directory. There's no really good way, like, I don't know if you guys can really read it. You kind of can't. Maybe I can switch to this again. So there's no good way of, like, looking for it because it's done by last names. So I kind of just have to look for it. There's F63 is McSweeney up there. I can see that much. Miskatonic University. So I'm just going to, like, browse through and see if I see, like, a business there, or if anybody wants to check the newspaper articles, we could look there. See if they talk about French Hill, or something with 64, or knights, or knots. Because I'm just going to do a once over into the directory. There's probably an easier solution to this, but if anybody has something, you let me know. Let your girl know, because I could go... Where's the Desolate Highway Cafe? Maybe I should look for that first. Since I have that number. Desolate Highway Cafe, N29. Nope, that's not what I need. There's an F64. It's on East Street. Yeah, it's over here. Far in this corner. I'm just kind of curious if I can find who lives there before I waste the movement to go there. F66 is Bernard something. F40. Because what if I go there and nobody's home, nobody lives there. There's no reason for me to be there. Maybe I'm reading too far into his note. when I have like a... I feel like though, so they're telling me to go either investigate the Brothers of Skin, who are for the flaying, or vampires for the blood. And I feel like both of those are branches that I just don't need to travel down. There's got to be a smarter way of covering both of those things without having to go 2 different places. I wonder if the Manly Theater has something to do with it. Where's that at? Where do you see Manly Theater? Manning. Oh, there you are. N9. Okay, N9. I'm gonna write down both of your things. Just gonna go F64 East Street. Or N9 Manly. The announcement on the newspaper. There's an announcement for the theater on the newspaper. Manly Theater announcement. Oh, dragon! The Manly Theater is pleased to present The King Cometh. Congrats to Miss P. Larry for winning 2 tickets. The first performance will be held on August 18th. We would love for the citizens of Arkham to attend this exciting play. Tickets will be available at the ticket door. I wonder too. Oh, I wonder. The magnifying tone radio. I need to figure out what telenews is. For where the projectionist is. Because if I go to this theater, the projectionist might be there. But I don't know. Honored by Baptist Society. Slumbered. Oh! Businessman slumbered in French Hill. Last Sunday, police picked up a man who was drunk and thought to be without a home. They lifted the unfortunate to his feet, but soon realized it was prominent businessman French Waters, who, although not a resident of Arkham, owns several merchant district businesses. Mr. Waters was slumped on the ground, completely taken over by liquor purchased from bootleggers. Businessman French Waters. I wonder if he has a house here and if it's in French Hill. French Waters. Waters. It said he's not a Waters. French. Nope. Waters are. D. Those are D's. Wasner. Yeah, it said he doesn't live here, so that might not work. What else you guys got? What else you got? Also, I don't know if you really can tell or not, but so right here, there's some weird printing on the paper, and I think they're clues. I just don't know. One of it says, that fallow O times. One of them says, hell for those O times. Another one says, baby, my baby, 6 years old taken. But taken is spelled T-A-K-N. I feel like something's weird. And I don't just think it's a fuck up on the game's part. I think it's on purpose. O times is just, it seems like that says hell for those 4 times. 6 times, yeah. Hell for those 6 times. Yes, it does. It's in just 2 lines, like a stamp. And then the other one says that follows 6 times. Oh, it says that follows 6 times. And this other one says, baby, my baby, 6 years old taken. Just saying, that's strange. I feel like it's worth mentioning. Well, we have plenty of choices. We can go wherever our hearts desire right now. Wait a second. Look at the Fried Eisman thing on the second half of the newspaper. Fried Eisman. The second half of the newspaper. When you wonder about reliability, remember the radio. Famous Fried Eisman, the magnifying tone radio, since broadcasting became. What does it say? Hard to understand radio? Hard to know which is the best? Naturally. All sorts of conflicting claims. Pretty safe, though, to rely on any product that has been successful from the beginning of an industry, isn't it? Fried Eisman has consistently satisfied people ever since the radio began. They come and they go, but Fried Eisman continues. And to this safety assurance, the evidence of your own ears, and you won't go wrong. Any Fried Eisman dealer will be glad to let you in your... hear this music... Let you... I'm going to assume that meant hear? Glad to let you hear this musical instrument in your own home. Free. He knows you'll want it. All electric, low price, and sweet tone to give you the pleasure, relaxation, rest. Free home demonstration. Fried Eisman Radio Company Corporation, Brooklyn, New York. I feel like the telenews thing has to be... Because if you work for a radio company, you aren't a projectionist, right? That's something different. I don't feel like that would be the same job. Like, you don't work with projectors, I would assume. But I could be wrong. Let's just see if I see anything in here about telenews. The 3/6s, that can't be anything bad. Yeah, it's probably nothing bad. Nothing bad at all. Bowman's Theatrical Supply. There's an apothecary, groceries, curios and antiques, locksmiths, furnitures and carpets, glass blowers, music store, trains and toys, national grocery store, flowers, office supplies, department stores, gunsmiths, ice cream emporiums, auto lot, stamps and coins. No, nothing bad at all. Nothing to see here. Lynch's Confectionery, Boats and Bait, used books. Oh, I went there in the first one. Optometrist, bookstore, lady salon, the radio center, M24. I wonder if that's different than Fried guy over here. Fried Eisman here. 5 and a dime. Grade schools, lots of schools, spas, restaurants, dormitories, chapels, nursing homes, bathhouse, slaughterhouse, chemical supply, newsstands, bakery, consulting architect, university garage, the unvisited aisle, the shore, Independence Square, Arkham Gazette, police station. Alright, I don't fucking know. I am going to take a flyer on this for the moment and say... I almost want to go to F64. I just don't know if I want to use my movement for it. Juan, hello. We're investigating things right now. There's some shit going down, and we're doing it. Wait, I wonder if it's the Arkham Gazette? The publisher, the newspaper publisher? Is that who that is? The advertiser? Oh, man. They rise across the nation, a thoroughbred of sin. Juan, thank you for the host. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, let's take a look through our allies and see maybe if there's somebody in there, too, that, like... We always have the choice to go back and see Armitage and find out where he's at, but there's also the choice that he might not be there, so that's good. The bot calling you out for having... I know, I try and take it off of the alert, but I don't know how to turn it off in chat. But I don't care, One. Thank you so much for the host. Thank you so much. It's a thought that counts, and I appreciate you. Armitage's home. I don't think I'm ready to try out the Gazette yet. I don't have that amount. I'm leaning towards the Desolate Highway Cafe, but only because I have that information. Like, that specific information. We can talk about the Brothers of Skin there and learn a little bit from them. If nothing else, it might give me some, I don't know, closure. It'll close some doors, possibly. It might storm, guys. It might storm. It's getting real cloudy out. Take your time, dragon. So, where did I say Desolate Highway Cafe was? D25? I think that's what I picked. No, N29. Not even close. N29. Highway. Cafe. Cafe with two E's. Oh, I liked it. It gave me a little thing there. All right, N29. You better be here. Oh, you're here. It's here. It says, several immigrants from various African and Middle Eastern nations are here drinking coffee, playing chess, and engaging in lively debates. Your discussion with them doesn't reveal anything that contributes to your investigation. I shouldn't have gone there. So I need to move it once for this movement, and then once for, we'll move it down for the next one too. Reveals nothing. Reveals nothing. We'll never learn about the brothers. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Whatever. Now what? Now what do we do? We went to the taxi place, D34. Well-to-do types. We went and talked to Lyman, L18. He told us about this French Hill. We can speak back at French Hill. And remember to bring that 64 Chateau Lafite Rothschild you've been promising me. Got it? The 64. He was a Scotsman from the clan McNaught. Of course, Knot has turned to Knight these days. I don't know what he's talking about. Is there like a wine or I'm off me a while on break? How are you enjoying this game? Rexy, I freaking love this, and welcome to your break. I love this. So my story with this game is that I played this at Extra Life. My guild back in Indy does a big party for Extra Life. And it was like it's a 24-hour marathon, like in a big, we used to do it in a game center. So a couple years ago, I was at Extra Life, and two guys had this game sprawled out on a table, and I got bored on my computer and got up and like did a lap, and I stopped by these guys' tables, and I had no idea who they were. I was just like, what are you guys doing? This looks awesome. Because they had like notebooks out and they were writing things down and they were keeping logs of things and doing points and they were like invested in this book. And I loved that idea. So I sat down and I played with them for like the next, I think we ended up doing 2 of these. We may have done the very first one in the book because I kind of like had brief memories of possibly remembering the story. And then I don't know what else we would have done, but I sat there for like 4 hours with these guys and played this game and was like missing from all of the LAN party games that were happening in the room. And then I came back and everybody's like, where were you? I'm like, I don't know, I found this game and there was Lovecraft and we were detectives and I've never found it since. And this past weekend at Gen Con, I walked by and like happened to see it on a table and like I checked Discord because I know that I reminded myself in Discord one time that this was the game that I wanted. And I checked it for the cover and I found it like, okay, I'm buying this. And it was only $20. And it's worth worth $20. It's like $37 or something on Amazon. It was so worth $20. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I hope everybody else is enjoying it, even though I know it's just a lot of talking. But I kind of want to do this pretty frequently, like maybe once a week or once every other week, just to like do them because I love them, and I would do them by myself otherwise. So I would love to like have your guys' help, and like as we get better at it, I'm sure we'll be more engaged. But I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it. That's all. Be interested in enjoying it? I don't know. I'll have to remind myself what Dread is, and check our D&D schedule. I don't see why not. Probably. I don't see why not. I feel like I was interested in it when I saw it in the video forever ago, but I don't remember it enough. And I saw it. I know it was a Geek and Sundry link, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't know where to go. Yeah, I think, I should be. Let's glance. Yes, I am. So I can check all of that information out. I don't know what to do. Yeah, $20 was a steal. I know. And it was 50% off on the table. They had such awesome things. Their table was like littered with a lot of stuff. Posted a character dev questionnaire in the YouTube video of Geek and Sundry. Okay, so it was Geek and Sundry. I thought so. So we could say fuck it and try F64 and see if there's a listing for it. I'm okay with that. If you guys are in agreement that you think that that's a logical step. Or we can continue to look for Telenews Cinema! Fucking Telenews Cinema! It's listed here and I just can't read. D12. That's where we're going. D12. Telenews Cinema. Goddamn. D11, D12. The projectionist at Telenews is more than happy to talk to you about his favorite movie, Nosferatu. I was thrilled each time we showed it. I've become a regular vampire expert in the last few months. Tell me everything, you tell him. A vampire is undead, dead, but also not dead? Neat, huh? It survives by drinking the blood of humans. This grants it unnatural strength and speed. Oh, and it casts no reflection, and it can't cross running water. It can control nocturnal beasts and transform itself into a bat, a wolf, or a mist. What will kill it, you ask? A stake through the heart? He sees how serious you are about the description of the vampire. It's just a movie, right? You stare at him blankly. Well, it depends on what lore you follow. However, I think they all have one thing in common. Something that will kill them for good. Cutting off its head is the only way to be sure. You read Bram Stoker? Blue just hit the desk like she wanted a picture of Spider-Man. Side note, when we played Kick-Ass at Gen Con last weekend, there was a card that looked like that guy from fucking, I don't know what his name is, the newspaper guy in Spider-Man, and I think my boyfriend had the card. He's like, he looks like he's asking me for pictures of Spider-Man, and that was a running joke of it for us for like the next week, or like 2 days. The next 2 days we were there making Spider-Man jokes, and I think that's super funny. That's what comes up. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Step. And I go back in, I can't lurk for a while because I've been flipping the line, but I'll be back. All right, we'll be here. I don't know how long this will actually take. I think it took us like 2 hours with my friend last weekend, so I'm going to assume 2.5 probably. All right, Telenews. You read Bram Stoker? As it happens, nope. That was a different one. I thought I kept going. It's not. So that gave me Nosferatu. Vampires. I don't know. I don't feel particularly convinced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay. So that was kind of a bust. What else you got for me, Dragon? What you got for me in those newspapers? Anything? The SS George Washington carrying an American delegation to the London Naval Conference. Before dawn today ran into a gale with wind blowing 80 knots an hour. Giant seas smashed glass. Wait, hold on. Let's try this one. This one with the 6 here. Hey, Dirty, hello. And Sandwich, hello. How guys? Hi. How now, Brown Cow? How are you? We're solving mysteries, and I'm fucking lost, but I'm gonna be lurking since I procrastinated my day away. Oh my god, that was me yesterday. I know that feeling, Sandwich. Today I was productive, but yesterday I slept a lot and watched a lot of Critical Role. That's all I did yesterday, and I don't regret it at all. So good luck on your productivity. This 6 dead, 100 stricken by Romanian typhus. That's where the misprints are, and it references 6. So let's try this. I can't think of anything. We'll get there. Bucharest, Romania. 6 dead and more than 100 persons are suffering from typhoid fever at Braila, Romania. 15 persons have died with the disease, which has broken out in a particularly malignant form. Germany entered into a demonstration of protest the other day against what all the newspapers of Berlin call the war guilt lie. Paris dailies are reputed to be mindful in their reporting. No longer do dailies of importance like the something Kriti Zoom content themselves with holy shit, this paragraph with the denunciations of the lie. There is a tendency to report with the countercharge that the World War has hatched by a group of the French Foreign Office in control of the... I can't pronounce most of that column. 3 cheers from Miss Albites. Letter to the advertiser from July of this year that stood in defense of T. Roosevelt. Does me good to all of us to hear someone back up the former president. Nothing crazy there. Home wanted for 2 girls ages 8 and 10. Countryside preferable. Both healthy. Home wanted for 2 girls. Men wanted for hazardous journey, small wages, bitter cold, long months, and complete darkness, constant danger, safe return doubtful, honor and recognition in the case of success. Ernest Shackleton staying at Rennie's boarding house all month. Interesting. This is the second one. This is scenario 2. The flesh and blood. Einstein's theory of relativity. Doing great. So are these logic puzzles? They're less logic puzzles and more mysteries. There's a level of logic to them, but it's more like choose your own adventure style. I just don't know where to go. Lyman, McNaught turns to McKnight these days, French Hill, Chateau, Lafitte, Rothschild. I'm going to look up maybe the names. Then the first scenario's newspaper is also in play now. I don't know. I didn't think that they worked like that, but I don't know. I could look in the rules. There might be something about them in the rule book. The rulebook is, the PDF's on the drive as well. For anybody who wants to play along. I'll link that too, since a couple of new ones are here. It says 8 newspapers. Each investigation has a newspaper copy of the Arkham Advertiser that corresponds by date. You may look at at any previously dated newspapers as well as during any investigation. While much of the information is for flavor, some information is presented to further your investigations. However, sometimes the importance of cryptic information will not become apparent until your investigation is well underway. Yeah, so you're right. Rule number 5 instead of says to have them handy because they might get clues in them. Okay, so I will have to scan these for you guys more than I thought. I didn't scan this front one for you. I'm also going to turn this, hold on. I'm going to turn this on because it's hot in here. Oh, it's getting warm in here. Okay, so I know I wish I had like a marker or something. We could do this. We can read together. So this one up here, this one was all from the first one. This one was from the first one. This one was from the first one. This one was from the first one. This one I found out should have been used in the first one. So this half probably isn't going to be used. I'm going to assume. Let's see. Calls to investigate river dock smuggling. Concerned citizens was Archimet addressed the bi-monthly meeting last night, and chiefs amongst the concerns was the increasing numbers of strange foreign people slipping ashore via docks late at night. It is as yet unclear from what these people... Okay, so there's nothing there. Earn good money making bungalow aprons. Personal ads. LP, it must not happen again. You guys probably can't read that. Yeah, you can't read that at all, so fuck it. I'm gonna just put it on here. But it says, LP, it must not happen again. Down and RJ know what this means. And then it skips a line and goes down to the next one. And it says, CS, missing Tabby Cat. SI, reward to D. Pickman, S. Parsonage Street. Ooh, wait a second. By a vote of 64 to 9, the Senate agreed to Senator Norris's resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution fixing the commencement of the terms of president. Nope. Senate proposes changing date of inauguration. Do not waver or slide back 2 paces without stepping forward. Sunny spells with light breeze. Rainbow appears. This segment brought to you by Reading by Blue. 2 cents. Mania, Germany. Maybe I should just look up some of these people, like D. Pickman. Parsonage Street. Parsonage Street, where you be? East Pickman? Okay, is D. Pickman a person? Let's find out. Pickman, D, L19. L18 is where Lyman is. SI rewards to D. Pickman. CS, missing Tabby Cat. I don't know what all these things are. These little... Should we go to D. Pickman and just see what he has to say? He lives next door to Lyman, but we're going to take a... I don't feel like we've uncovered enough information for being halfway through the mystery. I'm a little worried we're going to lose. I'm a little bit worried about that. LP, personal ads. These are more personal ads. International news. Film actress Gladys Brockwell was hurt when her auto leaped from an embankment in Hamburg, Germany. Her face is badly disfigured and there's little hope for recovery. That is a bright and shining article right there. But kitties. Last night, the birth of our twins for not just one family, but 3. That's 6 babies. Congrats to the Smiths, Baxters, and Ahos. These families have added 6 more members to our community. There's a misprint on this one too. I have to show it to you because you're not going to even believe it's there. Look at that. There's a misprint that I never saw before. It said, saw a missing child. Do not follow to 6. I think that's the only one. Saw a missing child. Do not follow to 6. The fuck is 6? just... My God, it could be any of these things, though. 2-6. It's a hidden message, I know! Just like the other ones. But I don't know what they mean. Saw a missing file, do not follow... child, do not follow to 6. Then this one says that follow 6 times. Hell for those 6 times. My baby, 6 years old, taken. 6 dead, 100 stricken by Romanian typhus. 6 more dead from 6 dead and more than 100 persons are suffering from typhoid fever. Home wanted for 2 girls ages 8 and 10. First performance, no. Anything else? I don't know. The Chateau 64! The 64 Chateau! Chateau Lafitte Rothschild! Missing children, like... I don't feel like going to... Arlo Hopper, wait a second. Arlo Hoppen, friendly and verbose, Arlo Hoppen is a dispatcher and cabbie for the Arkham Yellow Cab Company. You'd be surprised who he meets during the course of his normal workday. He is a quite talented musician, I'm sure he'll tell you. Arlo, I think, is one that we just read, had one of... Nope, it was Ahos, A-H-O-S, not Arlo. Lame. I was like, this person I thought had one of the 6 children? But we've already talked to him at the cabbie place. The cabbie place keeps coming up. Cabbie at D34. D34. Seamus. Lots of well-to-do types. Silver Twilight. Talking to Lyman. I'm stuck. Not has turned to night these days. French Hill. Alright. We're just gonna go to F64. We're just doing it. We are just going to see what happens, because I feel like the only thing that makes sense is French Hill is probably F. 64, he just made it sound fancy because he's just trying to get us to go. E Street, it's right next to French Street. It's off on its own. I think we're gonna go. We're just gonna go. All in favor? We're going. Just fucking choose. That's what we're doing. We're just going. Alright, F. F. French Hill District. F64! There's a thing, guys. There's a thing. F64 right here. You saw it first. We're doing it live. Okay. We're doing this. F64. I'm so glad we got here. Come in quickly, Lyman implores you. Yeah, we followed his clue! Once you're inside, he closes the door and locks it. I'm glad you took my meeting. I'm glad we took your meeting, too. I'm glad you took my meeting. Miss is currently out of town, and I needed a way to speak to you without being observed. Lyman takes a cautious glance out the curtain windows. Right now, every lodge member is under extreme scrutiny. Satisfied that you aren't being observed, he sits down. First of all, the Orn wasn't the only library this intruder tried to break into last night. Before going to Miskatonic, this would-be thief visited the lodge's private library and was similarly turned back by our protections. Only members of the Order know the location of this library. You have a traitor in your ranks? You ask. Lyman smiles grimly. Our oaths of loyalty are very, shall we say, compelling. I cannot imagine any of our living members betraying the secret. Could someone who's supposedly dead betray you? What a weird question. Someone dead did betray us. Dun, dun, dun. He responds. He wasn't dead at the time, however. In 1793, Jedediah Cahill's son snuck into that big empty house across from the old wooden graveyard. Old wooden graveyard. M1. People call it the unnameable. At any rate, it left the boy catatonic. The father was desperate to save his son. Ah, thanks for the biddies! Betrayal biddies! The father was desperate to save his son. He joined our order, hoping to find a way to undo the damage. He stole an ancient and very powerful book from our library, thinking he could use it to preserve his son's life. I suppose it didn't work. You recall Armitage's words about telling the watchman's parents about their son's death. Worse, said Lyman. When the abomination was discovered, Cahill was expelled from the order and the book was moved to a different city. In the wake of Jedediah's mistake, 8 people were found dead, flayed and bloodless. Blamed for these murders, he was burned at the stake. You can see Lyman getting nervous, but you have more questions before you leave. What is in this book that's so dangerous? Lyman puts his finger to his mouth, indicating a secret he can't tell. I can say it's an earlier version of a text Armitage has in his library. It makes sense that this thing would go to where our copy used to be first. It's a somewhat addictive text. Once a person of a particularly obsessive temperament has been exposed to the book, he'll keep trying to regain it. Also, if he can't get the original, he'll make do with what he can. He may try to copy the text on the same medium as the original, human skin, but he'll never let it go. Oh, gross. What happened to the son? Lyman shrugs. Noah? At the time, that wasn't the order's concern. Now, I'm hoping you can tell me. I need you to leave now. I'll exit out the back door, wait 10 minutes, and then leave the way you came in. Take requirements card 1 and 2. We have 2 requirement cards that can be used as a later date. And guys, I did a thing too, just in case we actually got requirement cards. I am going to do this. Hold on. 1 second. Wait for it. 1. Okay. Not that big. Easy there, card. Requirement card 1. And... Okay. We have requirement card 2. So now we know. 1 and 2. And they're different sizes. And we're just going to be fine with that. I mean, they could even be smaller because they're just for flavor. Mythos Tales. Flavor cards. Okay. So you have these. We're just going to put them down here. Sounds great. And they might come back later in this. So we got... Davis says it's a vampire. I mean, that was hinted earlier, so you're probably right. We've learned about Nosferatu. We've learned about... I don't know. Flaying. They said something about flaying in this too, didn't they? Okay, so the big empty house from... Big empty house across from the old wooded graveyard. The unnameable. We also know... We know that the Silver Lodge now has a previous... They have their own private library. I don't know if that's worth writing down, but we are going to leave it. We know these things. Satisfied. First of all, the Orin wasn't the only library. Before going to Miskatonic, this would-be thief visited the lodge's private library. He stole the ancient, powerful book, thinking he could preserve his son's life. Something about writing on skin. He was expelled from the order and moved to a different city in the wake of Jedediah's mistake. I wonder if it doesn't really say when, right? Does it say when all that happened, or that's like from in 1793? I'm just curious, just because I'm curious if there are any Cahills living in Miskatonic currently. And there are not. There are not. So, nothing like that. Okay, fine. So we could go to M1, the old wooded graveyard. What's across from it? The creepy house across from it. M67, M3, M35, M29, and M5. Unless it's talking about this one on on Hill Street. There's a C one over on Hill Street that's like by itself, but it doesn't have an address. Does it say which, across from which? Snuck into that big empty house across from old wooded graveyard. People call it the Unnameable. So I wonder if Unnameable is listed. That seems like a good guess, right? Unnameable. Alright. The Unnameable House. M3. Top corner up there. M3. Let's go there. It's where it's leading us, right? It's gotta be where it's leading us. So let's see if we can do... So you guys can see everything. Yeah, we'll just start with that. M3. Then we're gonna move the token. Move the token down. And Unnameable. Let's find it. There's gotta be an entry. M3 Merchant District. It could be a vampire. It's possible. Are vampires Lovecraftian? Are there stories of vampires in Lovecraftian cults? I don't know. I don't know. The large house. I feel like I'm still swallowing Coke. Bah. The large house, known as the Unnameable, has always filled those who see it with a sense of seething dread. Seething dread! The window panes have all been shattered and never replaced. Uninhabited for more than 200 years, the property officially belongs to the city of Arkham, but there is little done in the way of caretaking. The front door is locked, and you know that Armitage would not want you to get caught trespassing. Oh shit, there's little subtext. There's subtext, guys. If you arrive at the Unnameable during the morning or afternoon and have requirement card 3, proceed to the supplemental encounters on page 30 and read entry 4. If you arrive at the Unnameable during the evening, proceed to the supplemental encounters on page 30 and read entry 5. We only have 1 and 2! Oh no! F64. Take requirement cards 1 and 2. We don't have 3. Oh no, that's unfortunate. I wonder how I get 3. Shit. So we can come back. Shit. We need rec number 3. Shit. So we can come back, but it will take an extra movement later. If we get requirement card 3 and we want to, that should be a Q. And we want to come back, we can, but it just depends. Foiled by Mythos. Damn it. Okay. Well, shit. Okay. F64. 64. Let's go back there. Right now, every lodge member is... Kind little fancy pants, thank you for the raid. What is up, my friend? We are being detectives, but we're fucking stuck. We think the story is about vampires, but I think I'm running out of luck. We got to a house, but we don't have the requirement card that we need. And that's all I got. That's as much song I've got left in me. I guess we can check F64 or the theater. F64 was where we just were with Lyman. He told us about this house. So we got what we needed. And the theater was where we learned about Nosferatu and the vampires. So no, F64 is the meeting place with Lyman. D12 was the theater. That's this one. F64 was where this guy was leading us. So we met him here, and then he talks about trying to meet the Manly Theater. Oh, and 9. The Manly Theater. Okay, do we have anything besides the newspaper to point us there? Or should we just wing it? Pleased to present The King Cometh. Congrats to Miss P. Larry for winning 2 tickets. The first performance will be held on August 18th. We would love for the citizens of Arkham to attend this exciting play. Tickets will be available at the door or in advance at the theater. I just don't know if I see it. I need to do something with the number 6. That's where my brain is right now. Unless, okay, so where's the Manly Theater? And 9. Oh yeah, that's not the 6. I feel like we have to do something with the people missing. We have to follow that. I know the Emperor House was at... Let me just find where this Emperor House was from my last time notes. U41 was the Emperor House, so I don't know if that actually has anything. They were trying to summon the Shub demon through the Emperor House. Do we have a... Yeah, for the location for the theater, it would be... I think it's N9 is what we looked up for Manly. Student restaurants, other... I wonder where... Hi, Johnny. How are you? Welcome. We're freaking stuck right now. And I don't have a ton of movements. I mean, I guess I do. We have 7 left. No for the missing people. Okay. I'm doing well. I'm stuck. I'm good otherwise, but I'm stuck. I slept a lot yesterday. Order of the Silver Twilight Lodge. I'm almost considering going to the Silver Twilight Lodge just to see if I can snoop around in there. They're not gonna let me snoop around. I wonder, we could go to the advertiser, the newspaper publishing place. You want to try N9? We can try it. It feels obscure, but we can try it. Let's try it. Let's just see. And then if there's not a Manly Theater, if there's not a listing, we won't take points from it. We'll just lose the time. just want to make sure that we go to the right place first. Schools, stores, transportation, university clubs. I need like recreational, isn't it? We could just go to the graveyard. We could go to the old wooded graveyard itself. See if that has a listing. That's an M1. I'm gonna write that down just for a graveyard M1. We might go there. I'm gotta look for this theater. I know I found it earlier, but right now I am lost. So everything is being impossible. Impossible. Manly theater. Johnny, we're solving mysteries. If you want a brief look at, that's our setup for this mystery. We think it has something to do with vampires. We are using the link from the Discord to look through these newspaper clippings, and right now talking about possibly going to this Manly Theater that got an announcement. But the show isn't until the 18th, and we're only on the 8th right now, so I feel like nothing's gonna happen quite yet. I'm just nervous. Private companies. M9. No, M9 is, oh no, N9, my bad. N9, where the hell did we see that? We found that somewhere, right? Or am I losing my mind with this N9? Losing my mind. Manly. Alright, I'm just gonna go there. We're just gonna try it. L. M. N. And 29, but that was the cafe. No N9. No listing there. N9, Manly Theater, no listing. So what I'm doing here is this takes off our time, so we lose this, but when we come to the end to count towards our points, we don't take that off of our points. Hey, I'm looking at the allies list. I'm curious about the Necronomicon. Maybe C23 would be a good visit, especially since we can peek in on Armitage at the C23A. Without spending any more time, I have no idea if it would spend more time, but I am willing to check out the C23. Is that the historical woman? Jess, thank you for the host. Welcome, darling. The librarian. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. So we're going to move this one more dot. We're going to day 4. And we're going to try C23, right? Thank you, Shadowgun! Shadowgun! Thank you for the host. Hey, sorry I'm late. That's fine. It's totally fine. We're in some shit. If you guys want the link for the resources, there they are. We can do a quick little summary since I know Johnny just got here as well. So, quick summary is that we are investigating a murder that happened at a library. The library has a restricted area where it has a lot of like occult stuff and, you know, forbidden things that you probably shouldn't look at. And a murder happened. And the restricted area holds the Necronomicon, which is something that we're about to actually go and investigate. I don't know much about it yet. And the room is like covered in all these occult symbols, like all around the walls. They're just etched into the walls and stuff. And whoever this murderer was trying to go into this room to steal the book and couldn't. He couldn't cross through the doorways. So we're looking into that. I don't know. That's my summary right now. I feel like I've said it 18 times and now I'm forgetting everything. the hallway. The victim was flayed and drained of blood. So we tried to investigate the flaying and this one cult that does flaying, but that came up dry, and now we're like real deep into some vampire stuff. And there we are. There we are. Deva, thanks for the shout out. Armitage's office is listed as a special location. It's adjoining to the library, so if you're already in the library, it doesn't cost extra time. Nice. Alright, deal. Alright, we're going to C23. Vampires. Vampires. Thank you for the cheers. C23. Before you even ask a question, Amelia Sargent whispers, Professor Armitage told me to keep track of anyone who wanted to get into the restricted collection today. One student came in, Patty McCullough. That's the same Patty McCullough who just got pulled out of her dormitory and dropped off at the sanitarium. Do you think she's the one? She's just a kid. How could she do something so horrible? Oh, really, Patty? Patty McCullough. We could go to drop off at sanitarium. One student came in today. Whoa, so it says Professor Armitage told me to keep track of anyone who wanted to get into the restricted collection today. One student came in, Patty. That's the same Patty who just got pulled out of her dorm and dropped off at the sanitarium. Just now. I feel like that's sketchy. Today. Wanted restricted access. Kids, the ones we least likely expect. Damn kids. C23A. Armitage's door is locked, as usual, with a note stating he is not in his office but at his home. On the floor sits a small vase with a single violet, and attached is another note, but this one is by Pascal Fenton. There may come a time, old friend, when you cease judging me and instead call out for my help. Judge not, lest ye be judged, Pascal. Armitage isn't home, or isn't there. He's at home. Sanatorium is D1. I think that's where I want to go next. D1. D1. Sanitarium. D1. Downtown district. Holy shit. There's a bunch. There's a bunch. That's exciting. You guys ready? Well, C28-3 still counts against our location count, even if it doesn't cost time. Damn it! Really? Shit! Okay. And C23A. That's fine. Damn! So, how scoring gets done, I think we add up all the points that we get right from the questions in the back, and then we minus the amount of locations that we went to. I think 18 was what we had last time, and then we went to 6 locations, so we ended up getting like 12. And 12 won, but it was only by like 1 point, or 13 maybe. Yeah, we ended up getting 13. So 13 won, but 12 did not, so we were there. The feeling that we're not going to blow the scoring out of the water anyway, but it's worth noting. So going to fewer locations is better. Yes, if we can get... So the purple icon right here, this finish run, that's how long we have. So every time we go somewhere, this gets marked off. Every time we go to a different location. Once we're on day 5, we have through that space to do what we got to do, and then go to solutions and answer the questions. We can turn it in early. Like, if we finish it early and we think we've solved everything, we can do that and then take a bonus. But we only have through that day to get. So right now, if we go to sanitarium, I don't think I moved it. So let's double check. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I count the sanitarium too? Did you move the time tracker? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for this one, I think. This one should be a 9, just doesn't count. 10 would be this, so 11, no, I didn't move it. I think. Do we need to like actually count here? 1. And then we moved it for this one. We went to all these places. This was done later. These were just notes. So this was 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 counted, even though we didn't get to do the extra thing. So this would have been 9, but it didn't count against us. No listing. 10, 11. Morning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Afternoon day 4. Did move it blue. The first location takes morning day 1. Oh, so, oh. Okay, perfect. Good. Solved. Oh my God, we are detectives. If I ever saw detectives, that would be what we are right now. The sanitarium. An orderly accompanies you to the room where Patty McCullough is sleeping. You note the heavy straps around the frail figure's wrists and ankles that keep her immobile. The orderly explains, "It took 4 days for us to secure her. She bit and scratched the whole way, kicked like a mule. I keep your distance." How did it take 4 days? Just saying. I don't understand how it took 4 days when there's rumors that she's been at the library today. Just gonna keep that there. I keep your distance. She's a student from the university, you ask. I guess there was a side to her no one knew about. Folks are saying she left in the morning to go meet her grandfather for breakfast. He's got a place over at Nathaniel Peasley Apartments, but he says she never showed up. Next thing anyone knows, she wants access to the restricted section of the library. When she gets turned down, she goes back to her room in the western dormitory and starts biting and clawing. Bit a hole through a man's cheek. Did she say anything when you brought her in? Before the orderly can respond to your question, Patty's eyes open. She speaks in a raspy, staccato whisper. He sees you. Through me. The orderly moves forward to intervene, but you motion for him to wait. Wait. You step cautiously forward. Who sees me? Curse you! Patty lunges upward, but her restraints keep her secured to the bed. Her voice is not that of a young woman. A curse on you, on your Professor Armitage, and this entire town! Tell him to release the book. Tell him that these deaths will weigh on his soul. She gasps and collapses to the bed. Her voice changes to that terrified young woman. Help me, he's in my head. Who? You reach out to take Patty's hands. Shivering and struggling for breath, Patty says, Cahill. His name is Cahill. I looked for his fucking name in the book. I looked for it. A sudden seizure contorts her muscles. The orderly races for a doctor while Patty's grip on your hand crushes your fingers. Patty, breathe, Patty. Tell me where this Cahill is. Patty tries to speak through the clenched teeth. Book. He wants a book. He wants the book. You see the life slowly fading from her eyes. He went home. She coughs. By the time the orderly returns with the doctor, it's too late. Take requirement card 1. Another one? Okay. Can I duplicate this? Copy. And paste. And now we've got 2. We've got 2 requirement cards 1. Vampire girl? So she's definitely possessed. So we're gonna write a note for Cahill. He went home. Home? Words? We're going to write, I mean, he wants the book, and we know that. But, yeah, we already know that. He sees you. He's got a place. Okay, I guess there's a side door no one knew about. Folks are saying she left in the morning to go meet her grandfather for breakfast. He's got a place over in Nathaniel Peasley Apartments. But she never got there. Okay, that's what we got. We've got Cahill from two different people now. One of them was F64. One of them was from Lyman. We're going to type Cahill's name up there too, so I don't forget that. Cahill, father trying to save his son, did some shit, regrets were had, what else? F64, where you be? Cahill. Oh yeah, dead guy. Dead. Bluebird singing in the dead of night. Hi. Bluebird singing in the dead of night. That song, that's the one you're thinking of. Take these broken arms and learn to fly all your life. How are you, David? So we could go to... Man, I have 2 of these 1 requirement cards, and I haven't had a chance to use them yet. Alright. So, we've got that. We could go talk to her grandfather. Anything about apartment buildings in here, or Cahill? Do we see anybody named Cahill in here? Alright, so Batman Detective, explain this game to me. Well, I have a book. It has a setup for a mystery. Our setup for a mystery is summarized at the top up here. And we've just been following clues to go to different locations on the map and talk with different people to solve the mystery. Right now there's a murder, and we're solving that. We think it has something to do with vampires, so we're getting there. I think that I want to go to the graveyard. The old wooded graveyard. I think I want to try that. Do we have anybody that thinks that's a bad idea? Does anybody object to trying to the graveyard? It's right across the street from the mansion that we can't get into. It's where's F64 again? F64. Graveyard. So now we already talked about it? Oh yeah. Jedediah Cashill's son snuck into that big empty house across from the old wooded graveyard. So not that we should try the graveyard. I don't know where else Cahill would live. Like, other than that big house. And I don't know how to get into that big house yet. So first, is there anything in here about the graveyard? That's from last time. Moonshine-related deaths. A gallon of moonshine whiskey was consumed by the group. Then they came to Arkham and secured more liquor, it is said. The investigation is ongoing. Riverdock smuggling. This 6 thing, so we found misprints in the newspaper. It's alluding to a lot of 6s, but we don't know at this. An altercation on the unvisited isle resulted in the arrest of one woman who reportedly attacked her friend, Elliot Cousin. Therese Morris is being held at the local jail awaiting arraignment. Miss Morris asserts that she did not attack her friend, but a monster attacked Elliot. Evidence was collected from the scene of the altercation that police assert proved that the two were alone. We could go to the unvisited isle, or we could go speak to Cousin, or we could go to the jail. We have a lot of options right now. But if there's a monster on the isle, that could be a thing. The graveyard is a guess of mine, just because the building's over there, but nothing leads us there. Yeah, we should try the graveyard. Graveyard's always the best place. I think you should. I'm almost thinking about the invisited isle now, though. Wait. I'm waiting. But do you want to tackle the monster on an isle? I just want to figure out what it is. If something happened there, I want to know what it is. Cathill's dead, and the person at the sanatorium said he went home. Yeah, Cathill's been dead. He said, the sanatorium, she said, he sees you through me. And then you ask her who, and she says, a curse on you, on your Professor Armitage, and this entire town. Tell him to release the book. Tell him these deaths will weigh on his soul. And then you ask her who, and she says, Cahill's his name. His name is Cahill. And then you ask her where he is, and she says, Patty tries to speak through the clenched teeth. Book. He wants a book. He wants the book. You see her life. You see the life slowly fading from her eyes. He went home. She coughs. By the time the orderly returns with the doctor, it's too late. So, where's the dead person's home? The cemetery. The fucking graveyard. Okay, so we could go to both. We could just go to the graveyard and then the isle. Let's just do that. Let's do that. Fuck it. The graveyard. M1. M1. Alright, moving the token. Cahill? Yeah, probably. I knew I was pronouncing it wrong. You're probably right, though. Okay, so... graveyard. I hope this is here! Oh, you put it on Twitter for me, Jess? Thank you! I forgot. I started streaming, then was like, oh, I forgot. I might need to do this. Hold on. You're the best. I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna say, yeah, do that. Yeah, do this. Because I'm so good at tweeting on my stream. Alright, M1. Oh, please have a listing. Please have a listing. It doesn't. No listing. No listing. That's the worst. Alright, let's try. I'm gonna just try the aisles. Where is it? Unvisited aisle M9. Son of a... No! I know! Oh, we're gonna try the aisles though. That's all I can think of. M. Guys, there's the listing for M9. And visited aisle. There's an encounter here. Ready? Ready? The unvisited isle is a fetid blight on the Miskatonic River. A mass of rotting muck interrupted by a cold, weathered stones. Yeah, you're gonna learn, David, that I cannot pronounce things like for the life of me anymore. It's like my tongue's just not working. I just can't read. Fetid. Is it fetid with a hard E, or... I'm assuming it sounds like one of those words. It means rotted or decaying, like putrid. Not Coke. Kind of sounds like feta cheese. Fetid. Feta cheese. All right. It's a feta blight. Or vetted with an F. Fetid. It's fetid. Okay. All right. A mass of rotting muck interrupted by cold, weathered stones. The rumor that this might be a romantic destination for Miskatonic students seems highly dubious. You thoroughly search the area around the island's standing stones, monuments raised by long-forgotten native engineers for some unknowable purpose. Disturbances in the mud provide ample evidence that people were here. In fact, it appears as if something quite large was pulled out of the ground. However, there's no sign of a struggle or blood loss. You spot a carved piece of wood poking out of the disturbed mud. A closer look reveals that it's a rotting stake that could have been carved from a century or more ago. Your inspection is interrupted by the approach of a ragged-looking figure, an older man dressed humbly. "Sorry to startle you, stranger," he says. "I'm just out here looking for treasures like you. Sometimes you can come across odds and ends worth a little cash. Found a coin from 1793 one time. 1793! That's when the dude was from. The vampire. Don't worry, I can't pronounce either. I get frustrated when I can pronounce new words. I know that feeling. Guess your life is at stake. Ha! Vampire, damn it. Have you seen anything strange out here recently? You ask. One night a week or so ago, I bumped into a drifter. His clothes were soaked through with this thick muck, and he looked sick. I reckon he must have been in trouble with the law or some such. He asked me for a ride to shore in my boat, and I said yes. Then as soon as we were in the water, he begins having fits and howling. I thought he was going to die right there. We get to the shore, and I ran to find someone to help. By the time I got back, he was gone. That seemed pretty strange to my way of thinking. You thank the man and leave. You know what I love about it and I hate about it all at the same time? I love that this definitely tells us that it's probably vampires. Like, it's still reinforcing that it's probably vampires. But it does not tell us where to go at all. So my next thought is coin. We're gonna write this coin from 1793. Wooden stake from forever ago. Man that hates water disappeared. I'm thinking that we go to see Miss what was her name? Something Cousin? Elliot Cousin. I don't know where you live, Elliot Cousin, but we will find out. Great, we have a fucking werewolf now, damn it. Or a vampire. It's probably a vampire. Cousin, Elliot, where are you? Elliot Cousin in... There's no listing for you? Courthouse, Corchin, Could, Cotton, Corbett. Really? No listing? And aquaphobic. Text your friend, Elliot Cousin. There's no listing. Damn it. Well, that doesn't help. Shit. There's a cemetery. It probably doesn't help, but there's a cemetery. Oh, I'm just looking at that ticking timer over there. Just looking at it. Elliot T, Elliot W, Elliot. And his last name was Cousin. We could try the other one's house. So there's one dead end, I know. Morris, we could look at Therese Morris, but she's in jail. Do we have any other reason that we'd want to go to the jail? Because Morris, she could maybe believe, or maybe she'll tell us about the monster that she claims to have seen on the aisle. So we could go to the jail. I guess. Yeah, maybe she knows a thing or two. Which jail is she at? Oh, dropping the newspaper. Dropping the newspaper. Woman arrested. That screen says it. Kinda. Screen kind of says it. It's being held at the local jail. The local jail. Just the local one. I hope that's what it's called. Funeral homes, churches, local culture, financial institutions, boarding houses, graveyards, law firms, local government. It says so it says local government on there. Right there. And then it says courthouse and jail. That should be the local jail, right? D10? D10 up here. I don't see anywhere else. Because I know, right? It's exactly how I feel. I think that stores, schools, clubs, transportation, university, utilities, I feel like courthouse and jail, there's a police station too, but courthouse and jail sounds better. Let's just try it. I guess we're just making decisions now. In the evening time. But I only have 3 more movements. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna lose. D10. The guard brings Therese Morris into the visiting room. Therese is a young, petite woman who smiles defiantly as she slumps down into the chair across from you. Her cheek sports an ugly purple bruise. I assume you want to know what's happened with Elliot on the unvisited aisle? Unvisited? Ha! Kids from Miskatonic sneak out there all the time for their drunken orgies. That's what everybody says. I assume that's where Elliot's got the idea. We took a rowboat over to the island and walked around the standing stones. We were having a nice time, but Elliot was drinking a lot. It's like he doesn't even care that it's illegal. I didn't drink anything, and yet I'm the one in jail. Anyways, he got drunk and started to get a little too grabby as far as I was concerned. I told him that nothing was going to happen until we were married, and well, that led to an argument, which led to a slap in my face. And boy, oh boy, did I see red when that happened. Boy, oh boy. I socked him right in the face, and he split his lip open. But that's it. That lawyer of his, Alonzo Ferdinand, says that I beat him halfway to death. I mean, that's ridiculous. When the police looked the next morning, they couldn't find any blood at all. She pauses, apparently reliving the moment in her mind. I couldn't actually see him that clearly. We just had a couple of flashlights. I saw the blood from his lip fall to the ground, and then the ground just soaked it up. Soaked it up completely. Drank it like a thirsty desert drinks rain. She pulls herself out of the memory. So he passed out, and I left him I left him face down in the dirt. I took the boat back to the shore and then reported what happened to the first policeman I found. The next morning, I'm the one who gets arrested. You ask her, weren't you concerned about what was happening to the blood? Didn't that look strange to you? It looked just fine to me. Therese stands and nods in the guard that she's already ready to return to her cell. So, I'm thinking her boyfriend, Mr. Elliot Cousin, yeah, might be the vampire. I don't know why he doesn't have a house listing, though. Oh my god, and this is leading me nowhere. I need an adult. I need someone who knows what they're doing. Guys, I need you. I don't know. Elliot Cousin. Is not listed in anything from the first week. Assorted pastries. Black magic. I think we found our vamp, the mofo game. It's a fucking game right now, I'm telling you. According to an anonymous source, a secret government organization is building an experimental space machine. Our source tells us that the machine consisted of 3 discs, one 8 meters, one 6.5 meters, and a third disc 7 meters in diameter. At the bottom of the central body is cone-shaped, and there's a pendulum reaching the cellar. At the bottom, the central body is cone-shaped, and there's a pendulum reaching the cellar is hung that serves for stabilization. In the activated state, the top and bottom disc revolve in opposite directions to build up an electromagnetic rotating field, a drive called a V-roll, some SM levitator. Resulted from the development of this machine. Pictured here is the diagram obtained from the insider who believes aliens have infiltrated all departments of our federal government. The advertiser is not able to confirm or deny this assertion. And there's a picture of the diagram. So science. We learned some science. Einstein extends relativity theory. Berlin, Professor Einstein, author of the theory of relativity, issued the following statement explaining his latest book, upon which he has labored for the past 10 years. I submitted to the Academy of Sciences a work that presents a novel development of the theory of relativity. The purpose of this work is to unite the laws of the field of gravitation and electromagnetism under a uniform viewpoint. Naturally, this book is awaited with extreme excitement from the scientific community. The advertiser requested a comment from the Miskatonic University Science Annex, but did not receive a response to our request. Humble to thank for the recognition. Something about the Baptist Church. Science conspiracies, churches, and demons. I don't know. I do not know. D10 was the jail. She told us, cousin, Elliot, cousin, vampire? I'm also thinking he must have been the person to get the ride from the man. Right? You would assume that he's the one that needed the ride back to shore. I might also assume that he might also be possessed or something. Guardian apartments. We could go to where, like, maybe that girl's dorm or something. It seems likely. Yeah, I think so too. He had to have been that guy. I don't know how much that actually helps. So we could go to Patty's dorm. Where did we read her stuff? C20, no, not there. It's in D1. No, that's where we saw her. C23 is what I need. She's just, we could go to the university dorms. We could go talk to her dad. Is there anything earlier that we didn't do that we should do? I don't know about this part. Is there a listing for McKnight, you think? with a K? There is. L18. I want to see what the guy's first initial, if there was one. I'm afraid. Okay. He was a Scotsman from the clan McNaught. Of course, Knot has turned into Knight these days. Do you want to try that? Do you guys want to try and go and investigate McKnight? I don't know about clans or anything, but maybe that could be something. Miskatonic Valley Veterans Home, Social Parlor, University Garage, Gentlemen's Club, Athletes Association. That's all I can think of. It's worth a shot. Yeah, I think so too. I wonder what that'd give us. I'm thinking... Well, okay, so the only reason I'm thinking about it is because we walked into Lyman's living room with, like, no context. We just walked into this dude's living room. And he just told us random information about this guy. And we just played along like we knew what he was talking about, because clearly he was just trying to not say something in front of somebody else, because there was somebody else sitting in his living room. He was like, I don't want to say anything. So he gave us clues, like the 64 Chateau Lafitte Rothschild took us to F64, which was the meeting place. He also said, you want to know about this painting, don't you? And we were like, sure. And then he started talking about McNaught, and he said, now it's McKnight these days, or Knot has turned to Knight. So, like Davis said, so it would be spelled more like Mac. I think it's spelled like that. It might be MC. Yeah, it's just MC. So it's, I don't know, it might be worth checking. Where is it? It's in... Oh! Guys, you guys are gonna fucking kill me, but this is really, really funny. The McKnight house is F64. Just so you know. Meaning we've already been there. That's what he was alluding to. He was just telling us where to meet us at F64. We followed the trail of thinking through the wine and not through the hint of the painting. After all of that debate too. God damn it. Well, there goes that. There goes that. Alright. What else we got? He wants to go home, right? So we need to do something maybe with the Cahills or vampires, Nosferatu. He was talking about, they talked about like an old library. They talked about, now what is the question? I don't really know. There's abandoned churches, lots of churches and funeral homes, Valley Veterans Home. I'm gonna have to put this directory up for you guys for the next one. I guess I'll do that this week. I'll scan the directory so you guys can have it in PDF form to scan through it as well next time we play. Graveyards, Nosferatu, we talked to that guy. Of course it'd be the spot instead of a person. Yep. You know what? It's fine. It's fine! Thank you for the Biddy's Dragon. I don't know. So here's what I need right now. I need a fucking requirement card 3. That's what I really need. And I need to figure out how to get this. So, I'm going to go to the dormitory. C23 told me which dormitory she lives in. I'm just going to go there. We're going to go to this girl's house. That's the same one who just got pulled out of her dorm and dropped off at the sanitarium. And then when she gets turned down, she goes back to her dorm, the Western dormitory. So we're just gonna go there. That's what I got. I just saw this somewhere. Dorms, other locations, residential, Western dorm, C18. I'm just making choices. What was D10? Vampire, that was the jail. C18 West dorms. I don't know about this. C18. Okay. Oh, it's right here on this page. C18. If you arrived at this location... Oh, wait, we didn't switch the timer. Red token. Timer up to this. We're in the same day now, guys. If you arrived at this location during the morning or afternoon, go to supplemental encounters on page 30 and read entry 6. If you arrived at this location during the evening, oh gosh, we have to go. Entry 6, page 30. Ooh, they're yellow. Supplemental encounters are yellow. We didn't even need a card for it. We just needed to go. The Western dormitory has none of the hustle and bustle one would expect from a place full of young students, either preparing for their studies or for the fun after. The students are in their beds sleeping or pointedly avoiding contact with others. When you finally manage to find one student to speak to you, he says, "You won't get much in the way of information from anyone here. Ever since Patty Nicolo got dragged to the sanitarium with whatever happened to her, the people here who aren't sick stay to themselves." That didn't help me at all. The people who aren't sick, that sounds... The people here who aren't sick. I don't know what that means, but it sounds ominous. I don't know what that means. Oh my gosh! That's frustrating. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have 2 movements left. That's it. Just 2. Man. I'm so glad we can lose. We can lose our very first one. Okay. Old Wooded Graveyard. On a naval conference. Don't you laugh at me, Jess. I don't fucking know. I know it has something to do with 6. It has something to do with the number 6. And it's freaking killing me. Has its finger on the pulse of this town. Don Clark is the star reporter. If you find yourself in need of information about the privileged class or entertainment circle, talk to this guy. I'm not saying that I'd even frequent... Okay, wait. Conspiracy. Armitage takes a puff from his pipe. There are also 2 notable locations in town where you can gather information. Arkham Sanitarium is D1, may provide you with some unique perspectives on your cases. With the right kind of ears, you may find insight by listening to the ranting of the patients there. Armitage leans forward conspiratorially. I'm not saying that I'd ever frequent such an establishment, and in these times I'd even deny it existed, but the Speakeasy, N4, can be a valuable location to visit. As a common, if secret, gathering place for all types, someone is bound to have heard something. Plus, the libations there cause folks to be more forthcoming than normal. So, the Speakeasy is listed in the same, so on the Allies list, the Sanitarium and the Speakeasy are listed in the same, thing, the same fucking paragraph, and I feel like that's strange. Usually, I go to the other side. They're broken up by different people and locations, and then this one's together. So, I'm tempted to go to the Speakeasy. I'm tempted. Wait, the 666 on the newspaper is the listing for the dorm 6 or something? I don't know. I'll show everybody that hasn't seen yet, I guess, too. The paper has little misprints on it, or like secret messages, which you can't really see with this lighting. There we go. So there's one here, there's one here, there's one over there, and there's one in the back down there, which you guys can't read. The one on the back says, saw a missing child, do not follow to 6. The 3 on the front say, my baby, 6 years old, taken. With taken is spelled Takn. Another one says, hell for those 6 times. And another one says, that follows 6 times. So I don't know, is it 1 to the 6, to the 6? I don't know what that could be, though. That's where I'm at with it. I just don't fucking know what we could be talking about. Like, 6 years old taken. I'm almost tempted to, like, go to, like, there's boarding houses. Rennie's boarding house is on F16. Everything else is just kind of, like, around. Is there an orphanage or anything? U6 is a Presbyterian church. Any other 6 listings? I'm just looking now. E6 is chemical supplies. N6, Guardian Apartments. M67 is where the grandfather lives. Is there a listing for the orphanage? Let's see. Brickyard, unvisited aisle, restaurants, residential. Schools, there's public schools, clubs. Order of Silver Twilight, Miskatonic Gentlemen's Club, Transportation, University. I don't see anything. Orphanage, OR. Orange Gangway Tenement Apartments, Order of Old Arkham Graveyard. I don't see it. If there is one, I don't know. Miskatonic. I don't know what it would be called. Oh yeah, so it tells me there's a ledger in the front here that does say F is French Hill. That's good to know. Beacon of Hope Settlement Home. I just don't see apartments, cemeteries, consulting architects, funeral home. Boarding houses is the closest that I can see, at least. Is there like a children's something? Children's something or other. Christ, Christopher, Church, Children's, Chang. Nope, nothing. Nothing there. We'll go back and read all the boarding house titles. See if there's something in there. Boarding houses: Harding House, Lewiston House, Rennie's boarding house, Simpson's Apartments, Sides Manzold's boarding house, Witch House, and YMCA. I like how the YMCA is under boarding house. Okay, why not? Yeah, nothing for that. Maybe the newspaper? We could go to the stupid newspaper. We could go to the N28. If you find yourself in need of information about prison, no, not that. Overworked civil servants in public service. He's the keeper of various legal documents such as birth, marriage, death certificates. Ooh, maybe we should go there. Did we go to D21 yet? Death certificates. Maybe that'll tell us more about the Cahill guy. I feel like that's my only lead right now is Nicholas Stalstenstall is one of the most overworked civil servants in public service. He is the keeper of various legal documents such as birth, marriage, and death certificates, as well as deeds to local properties. He's at the Arkham Town Hall. D21? Sure, let's try it. D21, Town Hall. Alright, hopefully something's here. Oh my god, there's D21. There's a D21 listing. I'm so happy to see that. When you reach the counter where you would normally find... Oh yeah, did I change it already? Or is this my change? Shit, I can't remember now. Sanitarium was 1, 2, 3. I don't think I changed it. Don't think I did. I think I changed it after the West Storms and not for this one. So we need to, we need to go. Shit. When you reach the counter where you would normally find Nicholas Saltstenstall bouncing on his toes, you are instead disappointed to find a young man who grumbles about people calling in sick at the last moment. I'm sorry, the fellow mutters nervously. I've only been here 2 days. Nick isn't feeling well and won't be back until tomorrow, so you'll have to try him then. You ask him about the unnameable house, but tell him never mind when you see the confused look on his face. You resolve that you'll just have to take a look at the house yourself. If you have requirement card 2, proceed to supplemental encounters on page 30 and read entry 3. Nope. We're doing this. We're using requirement card 2 to go to page 30 and read entry 3. Right? Entry 3. What about the unnameable house? You ask the clerk. There's a chance it might be involved in a case somehow. Those records are gone. It's an empty folder. You persist. What if I wanted to visit the place? I'd say you must be out of your mind, he responds, but if it will help, I'll go get you a copy of the key. Take requirement card 3. Alright. So I'm using my last movement, the evening of day 5, to go to the house. I'm doing it. Now we go to M3, yo! Town Hall. Key to house. 17. M3. Yep, a little late. I know. We could have done this. Look how much movement we would have had if we would have thought to go to the, get the deed for the house or something. I didn't look at the allies and, this game. The allies in the newspapers are so important. M3, yo. Okay, so M3 takes us to the large house. If you arrive during the evening, which we did, proceed to supplemental encounters on page 30 and read entry 5. And this is our last one. Entry 5. Okay, this is a big one. This one. Okay. M3, yo! The front door drifts open on its own as soon as you unlock the padlock holding it shut. I was going to be super shitty if it just drifts open on its own. I'm glad they mentioned the padlock thing or I was going to be real mad. Like, what the fuck did I need this key for? It's going to be real mad. Just going to say that right now. Every inch of me was reading that sentence like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It was unlocked the whole time? Whew. At the edges of your flashlight, you see mice and insects race towards the shadowed corner of the front room. The floor creaks as you walk, and each step is accompanied by a crunch of desiccated leaves and broken glass. As you make your way further into the house, you see a slight glow coming from downstairs. Reaching the top of the stairs, you can clearly see candlelight and a shadow moving. As quietly as you can muster, you creep down the first few steps. In an instant, the creature is at the bottom of the stairs, looking directly at you. It's not clear in the dark, but the creature seems to flicker in and out of the shadows, mouth open, yellow fangs. If you have requirement card 5, you must decide right now if you want to use it on the vampire and then continue reading. I don't have requirement 5. I don't have it, so we can't do it. I don't have it. I don't know what that means. If you use... Okay, so we're just going to continue reading, and then at the end it says something about requirement card 5 if we didn't use it. Horrified, you turn to run, but the monstrous thing is so quick it flickers across the room like a flame. It's already tearing at your ankle. By the time you're halfway back to the door, it has a solid grip on your coat, pulling you up from side to side, threatening to take you completely off your feet. You fight back, and by sheer good fortune, your coat rips before you fall, and you're free long enough to make it out the front door. You run until your lungs are burning, and the blood from your torn ankle is filling your shoes. When you finally look back, you see the unnameable as it was before, with the doors securely shut. You won't be doing any more investigation without some rest and medical attention. It says, advance the time tracker 1 additional space to account for a delay as you recover from your injuries. If you used requirement card 5, read the next entry. We didn't use it, so that's where we fucking have to end. And we have to do our questions. I don't want to answer these questions. I'm so worried we're going to do poorly. Okay, here we go. Where's my pen? Pink pen! There you are. We also lose a point for running overtime. But we don't even need to go. We don't need to go further. Really? Son of a bitch. Because we fucking got attacked and we needed to go get medical attention? Oh, no, that's not what I want. We had to advance the time tracker 1 space to get the ankle treated. It pushed us ahead 1 time. Alright, fine. M3 times 2. Again, fucking house. Alright, number 1. What kind of creature killed the night watchman? Well, we're gonna say a vampire. Vampire. Number 2. What was this creature's name? We don't know that. We don't know that answer. We don't know that. Well, actually, I wonder if we should put Elliot's name. I'm tempted to put... Or wait, what kind of creature killed the night watchman, the vampire? What was this creature's name? It's either... Could it be the Cahill guy? Cahill? Dude? Jedediah Cahill? Or it could be Elliot. Yeah, or Elliot cousin. We should make a guess, right? I'm going to say... I think it has to be. Do we think it's Jedediah or Elliot? Elliot cousin was the one that was on the Invisited Isle with the girl. Tried to make a move on her. And then the blood got soaked into the ground. Jedediah Cahill was the first of the situation. The vampire situation. I'm going to say it's probably Cahill, just because he's the one that they said coming back from the dead. So I'm going to go with that. I like to write these things down. So bear with me while I write it in a notebook. It's going to be the answer. Number 3. Who is Jedediah Cahill's living descendant currently in Arkham? I'm going to put Elliot Cousin. We are just fucking making guesses right now. Based on what we know, we're making guesses. 4. Where can the creature be found during the day? I don't know. Should we put the house, the unnameable house? Even though we went there in the evening and that's where he was. I think maybe we should put it the dorms. I don't see... Yeah, I'm not sure where the girl comes into it. I'm thinking the house just because we found him there, but that was in the evening. There was a wooden stake on the aisle. I'm gonna say the house. Unnameable house. Because maybe he's like sleeping in the daytime when you get sent there. If you read a different encounter with him, maybe he's sleeping. 5. Why is the creature there? Don't freaking know. I don't know at all. Hey, Nishki, how are you? What's up? We're right at the end of solving a mystery. That I don't have nearly the details I wish I had on it. I feel like I failed, and I'm so upset about it. Oh my gosh. Why is the creature there? I mean... Oh, the book! He wants the... What the fuck was the book called? The Necronomicon. I'm just gonna put wants the book. Wants the Necronomicon. Okay. And then he likes big books and cannot lie. It wants the Necronomicon, dragon, you got it. 6. Where did the creature take the skin of its victims? Where? Where, though? And I'm doing all right. Enjoying working close to home. There's a Kappa there. Are you not working close to home? What's up? Are you at a new job? You think he's taking it to the house? I'm almost thinking to the aisle. Remember how the dirt like soaked up the blood? I feel like he's taking it to the aisle. Taking fun of me because I messaged him a GameStop question earlier. Transferred to the store in Martinsville. Oh, you were transferred. Oh, in Martinsville. I feel like that's far. I don't really remember where Martinsville was, but I feel like it's far, like 45 minutes away. Could be the aisle. I'm thinking the aisle just because of the... You agree with the aisle? Because the blood gets soaked into the ground, and that's fucking weird, right? And there's a stake. Okay, so I'm going to put unvisited aisle. Okay, unvisited aisle. Number 7. What is the creature doing with the skin? All the answers! What could he be doing with it? Oh, he's writing! Wait! We know! We do know! Wait! I first mentioned Cahill? Okay, F-64. F-64. I'm gonna reread that. Okay. We need... So it says, Lyman puts his finger to his mouth, indicating a secret he can't tell. And the question was, what's in the book that's so dangerous? Lyman puts his fingers to his mouth, indicating a secret he can't tell. I can say it is an earlier version of a text Armitage has in his library. It makes sense that this thing would go to where our copy used to be first. It's a somewhat addictive text. Once a person of a particularly obsessive temperament has been exposed to the book, he'll keep trying to regain it. Also, if he can't get the original, he'll make do with what he can. He may try to copy the text on the same medium as the original, human skin, but he'll never let it go. He is trying to he's trying to recreate the text from the Necronomicon. Recreating Necro text. Boom! I like it. He's writing on it. His store drive is 45 minutes and 45 minutes, so I live 5 minutes from trying to follow along. Where are these questions? So the questions are not actually... I didn't scan the questions. What we have here, Nishki, since you just joined us, what you have access to in the drive is there is a set of Mythos questions that I actually need to look at if anybody wants to look them over to see if this mystery answered anything. It just says Mythos in the drive. You are looking at, we had a newspaper articles, just today's newspaper that had clues. I need to apparently add the first one as well. The scenario was all contained in the book, and then we've just been reading through the book and being led to different clues. So we're right at the tail end of it now. I don't want to cheat. 8. Question. Whose blood revived the creature? Oh! Cousin! Elliot Cousin! So we've gone through this. We've gotten to our time limit, and we didn't get all of the details. But based on what we read through the story, the stuff we gathered and then the stuff in the newspapers, we're just kind of deducing what the answers to the questions are. And then we're going to add up the totals and subtract our locations. So we're just at we're almost done. 9. Where did Jedediah Cahill bury his son? I don't know that answer. Number 10 says, why did he bury him there? Can we think of anything that we did? Maybe the Old Wooded Graveyard? We should still guess. It's either the Old Wooded Graveyard or the Unvisited Isle, are one of my guesses. I think we should still guess. We're not going to get deducted points for guessing. We're going to get possible points if we get it right. A graveyard seems like a good place to bury him, but we did try to go to the graveyard and there was nothing listed. So, it could be... You think it's the Isle? I think it's probable... We'll try the Isle too. Yeah, I'm good with that. Just because we tried to go there, and there was nothing there, so... And 10, why did he bury him there? I'm just gonna put the word vampires. I don't know. Night Watchman found dead at Miskatonic. Yep, that's where we're at. That was the setup for the whole game. Was that somebody was murdered at the Miskatonic Library. We were trying to figure out who murdered him, but there were some weird things, possible cult-like things happening. So we first went to the criminologist and the occult expert that started us leading us down to different places. Some of these places didn't fucking matter. Reveals nothing! We've just been taking notes. Okay, so I guess why did he bury him there? I'm not going to answer because I don't know the answer. I don't know anything to put there, so I'm just going to take the hit on that point. 11, what caused Jedediah Cahill's son to fall into a catatonic state? Yeah, I don't know that either. I don't know. We're just going to put question marks. So, those are my answers right there. In the drive, do we only get to see the front side of the newspaper, not the back? So the newspaper is dated for the scenario you're playing. So this date for the one that's in the drive is August 8th, so that's scenario 2. The back side is June 30th. That was scenario 1's newspaper. I did not realize that we could use the backdated ones for possibilities in the future ones. So I'm going to scan the back of it in there and add it this week. This week, my goal to adding new things for this is that I'm going to get the first and the third newspaper scanned in. I also want to do the directory so you guys can look through the directory and be able to kind of help me navigate a little bit more, because I did feel like that was a little bit lacking for you guys. So that'll be something that I'll have done. We'll probably do this again next Sunday. I might ask on Twitter just to see how you guys liked it, but we'll get there. Let's answer our points. So, answer number 1, what kind of vampire or creature killed the night watchman? The answer is a vampire, so we get 2 points for that. What kind of creature is, what is this creature's name? Noah Cahill, it was the sun. So we don't get any points for that. Damn it! Who is Jedediah Cahill's living descendant currently in Arkham? Rachel Coffin. Don't know her. Fuck. Where can the creature be found during the day? In the basement of Nathaniel... In the basement of the grandfather's house of the girl at the dorms! The girl that had to go to the sanitarium? The basement of the grandfather's house. Fuck. We did not do well. We did not do well. 5. Why is the creature there? They were built on the site where its home used to be. Indian burial ground. 6. Where did the creature take its skin to the victims? To the basement of the unnameable house. You're right. You were right. The skin went to the house. What is the creature doing with the skin? Using it for pages of a book. So we got 5 points there. Whose blood revived the creature? Elliot Cousin. 2 points there. Where did Jedediah Cahill bury his son? Unvisited Isle. 3 points there. Why did he bury them there? Vampires can't cross running water. Oh my gosh. We didn't know that, but that's good to know. What caused Jedediah Cahill's son to fall into a catatonic state? And just says the unnameable. And we didn't get that one. So a whole 8, 10, 12 points. Okay. Sanity penalties. If you traveled to Western Dorm or Hangman's Hill or the Peasley apartment at night, take a 1 point penalty for each location you visited at night, thus encountering a vampire. We went to the dorm, but it was M3, D21s. It was during the morning. We didn't go to Hangman's Hill. Satiric, thank you for the host. Welcome. Oh, damn it. I should have been here earlier. I knew that vampires can't go over running water. Nishki, you're late. You should have been here earlier. much it would have helped us in the moment, but it was a really weird thing we read. I can read it back to you. Hold on. It was Unvisited Isle, M9. It says, he asked me for a ride to shore in my boat, and I said yes. Then as soon as we're in the water, he began having fits and howling. I thought he was going to die right there. We get to the shore, and I ran to find someone to help. By the time I got back, he was gone. I know so much stupid trivia about vampires. That's super funny. I didn't expect this to turn into a vampire thing, but all of a sudden, the clues started leading us there. You know, nothing ever good ever happens in Arkham. Yeah, we've been dealing with vampires and flaying and all sorts of stuff. Okay, so I don't think we have to take a penalty point for the sanity. Luckily, we were okay there. Locations visited. Count the number of locations you visited, even when they did not contain an actual encounter. Deduct 1 point for every location you visited beyond 10. Oh my gosh. Even if they didn't... Did I do that wrong for the location encounters? Location, location, location. Travel. I thought that they didn't count towards... I thought they didn't count. Apparently they do. Ugh. Okay, so beyond 10, we're at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So minus 7. Oh my god. Oh my god, we failed so hard. 12 minus 7. Deduct 1 point for every location you... Armitage was able to answer all questions by visiting 10 locations. 7 points off of our score. That's a big fucking 5. So fewer than 13 points. Because now we have 5 points. Because we went to too many places. If your score was fewer than 13 points, Armitage gives you a head start on your next case. When you play your next investigation, you may travel to your first location without advancing the time tracker. This allows you to travel to 2 locations during the morning hours of day 1. Did I have that kind of thing from the first one? You win. Hold on. 12 plus points, you win. On the following page, you may review the locations Armitage visited. Oh, so we don't get... Yeah, I didn't get a bonus on the first one, but I did win the first one, just not this one. So we get a bonus the next game. I'm just going to write that down because I'm going to forget by then. Bonus on scenario 3. And it says 2 locations during morning day 1. That's ridiculous. What's up, Satiric? How are you? Sorry, you guys. Nishki and Satiric coming in right towards the end. We have been playing Mythos Tales. It's a kind of a choose-your-own-adventure style detective game where we're running through Arkham to solve scenarios that are in this book, and then the book leads you in all sorts of obscure directions, and you just have to try and follow the clues. Running water thing for vampires. Vampires are unholy or unclean, and running water has a cleansing, purifying effect. Marshall is meditating. So essentially, vampires can't cross running water because it would cleanse them. Oh, the more you know. You guys ready to hear the solution? Armitage solved this case by visiting 10 locations. His path is revealed on the following page. Only read the solution when you are ready for all to be revealed. You guys want to know? Or do we want to... I mean, I feel like we can know. I think I'm good with knowing. So if you guys don't want to know, mute me for a moment. This is what the game looks like, Nishki. And Satiric, since you guys just got here. This is the book. the Book of Things. Just reveal it. Here we go. Solution. Armitage's study. A fire crackles invitingly in the fireplace, and you allow yourself to enjoy this simple pleasure, despite the object sitting on a stand between you and your mentor. The Necronomicon. The strange book that was so central to this case. You can feel its power, its hunger for blood and destruction. Flesh and blood, your mentor says, into the quiet. Back in 1793, there was nothing Jedediah Cahill wouldn't do to try and save his son. How noble. How ruinous. It is fortunate that Mr. Lyman was willing to share what the Order knew about the Cahills and their history. The knight lives in the square between the tower and the church, or rather, the rook and the bishop. The knight? Oh, McKnight. Oh, interesting. After Noah Cahill's encounter with the Unnameable left the child unresponsive, Jedediah joined the Order and stole their copy of the Necronomicon. It is said that the text must be written on human flesh. Using this book, Jedediah marshaled dark forces to restore the boy. The results were monstrous. The boy rose again as a vampire, hungry for blood as well as an overwhelming compulsion to possess the book that had birthed him. However, the Order had reclaimed their property and moved it. So the creature began to make his own book, using the skin of his victims for the pages. Mob justice blamed Jedediah and burned him at the stake. But not before the elder Cahill had managed to put an end to his son's reign of terror. But Noah's sleep was not to be eternal. The monster returned after 150 years to resume its terrible work. By day it slept in the basement of the Nathaniel Peasley apartments, where its home had once been. By night it took its victims' skin to the Unnameable and tried to fashion them into the pages of its own book. The sun has risen, you interject. So it has. Armitage stands and collects the crowbar and axe that were leaning against the chair. Decapitating this beast will be a grim bit of business, but it is pleasant to think about Rachel Cawthon, a descendant of the Cahills. I'm given to understand she has 7 grandchildren in Boston. The two of you stand in silence for a moment. Family can be good, you say. Indeed. Armitage points to the Necronomicon. Let's return this to its proper home and get on with our task. And then it tells us exactly where Armitage went. He first went to Professor Lenore Robinson at C-17. Interesting. I don't know who that is. Is that an ally? We got wrecked here. We so did. We really, really did. Miskatonic's Professor Lenore Robinson is a great source of information on all matters historical. She's an expert on the oral history of Miskatonic Valley and also well-versed in folklore. All right. So that's where he started. We never even thought to go there. She never even crossed my mind. Then he went and talked to Fenton. And then he went to talk to Corbett, which is where we started. So we went first to Corbett and then to Fenton. So that was his 2 and 3, but he had the information from the girl, which if she was at C-17 would have told us, hey, thanks for the follow, welcome. Where is C-17? The whole thing with the flesh and blood, but I can't recall what it is. There's over... I don't honestly think that she... Clearly frustrated, Professor Robinson pounds her fists on the one of many file folders stacked on her desk. She grimaces when she sees you. I'm so sorry. Please tell Professor Armitage I'm so sorry. Sorry about what? You shut her office door behind you. This whole thing with she shudders, the flesh and the blood. It's happened before, but I can't recall when. There's over 200 years of recorded history in Arkham. She suddenly flips through the papers. I need something to jog my memory, something that can narrow it down just a little bit. And then you can go, if you have requirement card 1, you can read a supplemental there. Which we did, so eventually we could have gone there, but we didn't. We didn't utilize the allies good at all. We did use a couple of them, though. We used Corbett. We used the cab company. We used Fenton. We used Lyman. We used the town hall, Nicholas Stultensall. We used quite a bit of them. We used the sanitarium. We used the library. We went to his office. We used almost everybody, actually. There were a couple of them we just didn't think to. Some of them I used in the first one, so honestly I didn't think that they would use them like that. I was mistaken. I was very mistaken. So then he went to the cab company, which we did as well. He went to Lyman, which we did as well. And McKnight, which we did. Then he went to the First Baptist Church. Didn't see that coming. Then he went to Stall, which we went there, Stall. Then to Unnameable, and then to the Pickering House, which is, I'm assuming, where you learn the Noah stuff. And that was scenario 2. That was what we got. We lost. We lost real hard. But we did it. And that's what I got. The next one is called The King Cometh. Ooh, where did we see King Cometh somewhere? We saw that somewhere. The King Cometh. Oh, in the newspaper! In the newspaper! Guys! The King Cometh is the Manly Theater! That's the play for the Manly Theater! That's gonna be our next one, I bet. And we have a new newspaper. What's the date? I wonder what the date is. The 18th? Is the date on this the 18th? August 19th. The day after the opening act for The King Cometh. This is about to be about a play. I'm excited. I guess we did okay. I'm just salty about losing. Sure, that will be a very manly play, because the Manly Theater. I get you. I get you. And there we are. That's all I got for you guys. That's all I got. I hope you guys had fun. I would do this all on my lonesome, and I would bust through this book real quick, though, if I did this at home by myself. So my way of keeping myself from doing this all at once in like a 2-night span is to play with you guys. And I hope that it didn't bore you to tears. And I want to do this again next week if you guys want to too. Probably the same time, so that you guys have a better heads up that we're doing it. I kind of winged it this week. We did our best, guys. I thought we did really well. You guys were a heck of a team. So, yeah, we were a heck of a team, and I wouldn't trade you for the world. Are you thinking of doing board games as possibly a running thing? Yes. I just like board games, and I haven't got to play them. Like, Gen Con stirred up all the board games inside of me, and here I am now wanting to do everything. And this game is so in my wheelhouse. I love it so much. This game is pretty rad, though. I'm so happy and so glad you played it. Yay! I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I know it's so silly, for me to, like, just read to you for 3 hours or some bullshit, but I very much loved it, and I figured it would be fun. Like I said, I'll try and get the directory and stuff up, too, for you guys, so, like, you'll have all the resources. It's just, it takes a really long time to scan everything in. Perhaps some tabletop simulator sometime? Yes.